Chapter 97. The building of practical training was located on the northeast side of MCMAU. It was a 9-story building. MCMU's buildings usually had 9 as the maximum. It was not too tall, but the building of practical training took up a lot of space. Not all of it was open today. Only the first 4 floors were open. Building of practical training, 9th floor. The 9th floor was not a training floor in the conventional sense. Instead, it was a spacious hall. The hall was surrounded by large screens. They were the feedback from the surveillance cameras when the students entered the floor. Usually, few people came to the 9th floor. Now, there were almost 100 instructors and school leaders, either sitting or standing. There were less than 1,600 freshmen, but there were more than 100 martial arts instructors and dozens of cultural studies teachers. MCMAU had more than 6,000 students, but there were more than 1,000 instructors in both the social sciences and martial arts. The ratio of students to instructors was almost 5:1. This was also a characteristic of martial arts universities. Martial arts instructors did not teach many students. Huang Jing was as eye-catching as ever in the crowd. The other instructors and school leaders were all around him. While waiting for the students to enter, someone in the hall suddenly said, when the 4 schools were established, it was to prevent martial artists from focusing solely on martial arts and becoming martial artists. Now, the School of Weaponry occupies the most resources every year and selects the most outstanding students. Some students don't focus on actual combat, but on research, creation, business, and politics. The prosperity of a country depends on the prosperity of all industries, not just the supremacy of martial arts. Now, all the schools of science have deviated from their original intentions. Too many resources have been tilted toward the School of Weaponry, causing all the outstanding students to choose the School of Weaponry. Dean Huang, is this really appropriate? As soon as he said this, everyone turned to look. The person who said this was none other than the Dean of the School of Social Sciences, Chen Jinhua. Although Chen Jinhua was not a grandmaster, he was still a peak-ranked 6 powerhouse. Moreover, he was also a nationally renowned research expert and political instructor. The results of MCMU School of Social Sciences were not bad in recent years. At least, they were among the best among the major schools of social sciences. There were 7 or 8 governors from MCMU School of Social Sciences alone, and 4 of them were still in office. However, it was a fact that MCMU tilted toward the School of Weaponry every year. The resources allocated to the School of Social Sciences were decreasing, and the quality of the students was getting worse compared to the School of Weaponry. In the past, some outstanding students would choose the School of Social Sciences, but now almost no one would do so. Chen Jinhua could no longer sit still as he watched the annual allocation of academies. He had no choice but to speak up. Huang Jing did not bat an eyelid. He calmly said, "Are the students of the School of Weaponry pure martial artists?" Over the years, the School of Weaponry had produced all sorts of graduates. They had produced politicians who could govern a country, high-ranking officials who could manage a territory, entrepreneurs who had a successful career, and world-famous scientists who would dare say that the students of the School of Weaponry were martial artists. Literature can rule a country, and martial arts can pacify a nation. President Chun, you can't speak carelessly, Chen Jinhua said in dissatisfaction. Director Huang, don't be biased. Most of the recent graduates from the School of Weaponry have chosen the military and the Department of Investigation Services. That's because the catacombs are getting more dangerous. Huang Jing said with a serious expression, they are serving the country. They died on the battlefield and died on the battlefield. How many people know about it? Can you guys who only know how to enjoy a peaceful life in the rear understand that batches of outstanding social elites are going to the front line and their young lives are coming to an end? Why are resources allocated to the School of Weaponry? Why do we have to choose the best of the best? The frontline commanders are getting fewer and fewer, and more are dying. How much do you know? Even if this is unfair to those ordinary soldiers and martial artists, you have to admit that if it weren't for the martial arts university genius martial artists holding the fort, commanding the battle, taking the risk to advance, and executing the decapitation strategy, would you still be able to enjoy the peace you're enjoying now? Huang Jing's expression was sorrowful, and he said with a hint of anger, even so, a large number of elites die in the catacombs every year. Back then, to prevent the world from falling into chaos, to allow ordinary people to live and work in peace, without fear and worry about these things. Our ancestors decided not to disclose this news to ordinary people. But is this fair? More and more young talents are dying in the front line, and they don't even have the title of hero. They even have to announce to the public that they died in training or on missions. This is not fair. The weak are still questioning why martial artists should enjoy these privileges. Why? Why do you ask? Director Huang, please calm down. Chen Jinhua said softly. Things haven't reached that point yet. I'm not denying anyone's contributions and merits. The students of the School of Social Sciences are also contributing their efforts. Only when society is stable and the economy is developed can the country invest more funds and resources into martial arts. The students of the School of Production are innovating pills, reforming cultivation methods, and improving weapons. The students of the School of Tactics and Strategy are also acting as frontline commanders. The School of Weaponry is not unique to the School of Weaponry. The division of the 4 major schools is for everyone to perform their own duties. However, overemphasizing the importance of the School of Weaponry is unfair to the others. Fair? Huang Jing said lightly. MCMU respects the strong. If you're a grandmaster, then you can talk to me about fairness. Since you're not, then don't talk to me about fairness. You. Chen Jinhua was furious. Talk to him, and he would talk to you about martial arts. Say he was a martial artist, and he would talk to you. However, Huang Jing's identity as a grandmaster suppressed the other 3 major schools to the point where they could not even lift their heads. Chen Jinhua was furious. He huffed and said, when the vice-chancellor comes back, I'll talk to him. Up to you. Huang Jing did not care. He said lightly, the school assignment assessment has begun. All schools will compete fairly. If there are any threats or intimidation, once discovered, they will be dealt with severely. I'm talking about the instructors, especially the instructors from other schools. Be careful. The instructors from the School of Social Sciences were embarrassed. It was more appropriate for the School of Weaponry to do this. The School of Social Sciences was weaker to begin with. Why would they do something like this? The square in front of the building of practical training. Tang Feng said loudly, the first floor is the School of Social Sciences. The second floor is the School of Production. The third floor is the School of Tactics, and the fourth floor is the School of Weaponry. It's 7:57 now. The building closes at 8 and opens at 9. When the building opens, the students of the school will be on whichever floor you are on. Each floor can have up to 400 people. If you exceed the limit, 30 credits will be deducted from the students on that floor. The students were in an uproar when they heard this. This was obviously to encourage them to compete and fight. Otherwise, if someone insisted on squeezing into that floor, it could cause a few hundred people to have their credits deducted. 30 credits and 3 rank 1 vitality pills. Even a rich student like Fu Chanding had to treat it with caution. Fu Chanding decided to make a name for himself by popping pills. He had prepared 3 rank 1 vitality pills. Despite the uproar, no one questioned him. They did not dare to. Soon a student asked, "Instructor, can we bring weapons?" Tang Feng glanced at the person who spoke and saw that he was holding a short blade. He pondered for a moment before saying, "You're not allowed to bring metal weapons. There are solid wood weapons on the first floor. You can use them. You're all new students. If you don't know your limits, you'll easily cause a lot of casualties. Solid wood weapons can reduce casualties." Many students understood what he meant when he said reduce casualties instead of avoid casualties. Their faces turned a little pale. Obviously, casualties were not unheard of. It was not impossible for a solid wood weapon to hit a vital spot. It was just that it was not as dangerous as a metal weapon. Tang Feng continued. Other than the prohibition of metal weapons, everything else is up to you. You can team up or gang up on me. It's all up to you. Martial artists have to fight, but you have to act according to your capabilities. If you can't do it, it's better to keep yourself useful than to fight for a moment of pride. Every school has its own strengths and weaknesses. The School of Weaponry is not the best choice. It's best to choose what suits you. After Tang Feng finished speaking, he shouted, "Enter now!" The students rushed in when they heard this. Just as the students entered the building, all the doors were closed, leaving only one main passageway guarded by a few instructors. This passageway was also an emergency passageway. The new students did not know how to control their strength. If there were casualties, the school would try their best to avoid it and rescue them immediately. As soon as he entered the building, he saw a spacious central hall. More than 1,000 students entered, but it was not too crowded. In the middle of the hall, a weapon rack was placed filled with all kinds of solid wood weapons. Sabers, spears, swords, halberds. Fu Changding's waxwood pole was not a metal weapon, so he could bring it in. Once they entered the building, Fu Changding moved closer to Fong Ping and asked in a low voice, "Do you want to use a weapon?" Fong Ping nodded. Having a weapon was better than nothing. When they were still not that strong, having a weapon in hand would make them feel more secure. Of course, if they met an evenly matched opponent and continued to use a weapon because they were not used to it, that would be a hindrance. Fong Ping did not say much. He went forward and took a wooden pole more than a meter long. At this time, he had not learned how to use a weapon. A pole was the most suitable as long as he had enough strength. As for the others, some took a weapon, some did not. Some looked around cautiously, while others looked straight ahead and walked up the stairs. Fong Ping was not in a hurry. He weighed the wooden pole in his hand and tilted his head to look at Fu Changding. "Do we start now?" "Wait." Fu Changding shook his head. "It'll be more chaotic in the early stages. Many ants can kill an elephant. Some people don't know their limits and will definitely try to break into the 4th floor. We'll wait for a while. When those who are not strong enough realize that they can only stay on the other 3 floors, we'll go." "All right, then we'll split up first. I'll see you on the 4th floor." Fong Ping did not plan to stay with this guy. As he spoke, he took the wooden pole and went to the 2nd floor. Seeing that Fong Ping had left, Fu Changding could not help but curse. This guy better not cause any trouble. If Fong Ping got into trouble, it would be difficult for him to handle alone. 4th floor. Tang Songting stepped into the hall. There were already more than 10 people there. After looking around, Tang Songting walked toward a boy with a crew cut and squatted down beside him. He laughed heartily. "Tang Songting, Zhao Lei." "Together?" Zhao Lei frowned. "There's no need." "Ha!" Tang Songting did not say much. He got up and left. Zhao Lei stayed in room 1. He was also one of the 4 twice-honed martial artists. He was not weak. Tang Songting was prepared to team up with him to defeat Fu Changding. However, since the other did not have the intention, he did not force it. Tang Songting believed that he was not weaker than this guy. While Tang Songting continued to look for partners, on the other side, a few girls gathered together. Yang Xiaoman said heroically, "We girls have always been looked down upon. Everyone says that women are not as good as men when it comes to martial arts. But I, Yang Xiaoman, don't believe it. This time, the 3 of us will team up and show these guys that girls are not to be trifled with. Whoever dares to provoke us sisters, we'll beat his face until it's bloody." As she spoke, Yang Xiaoman suddenly said, "Chen Yunxi, can you not look so weak? You think we're easy to bully. Learn from Zhao Xuemei. Put on a fierce face and scare the guys to death." Chen Yunxi smiled innocently, while Zhao Xuemei said exasperatedly, "If you say I'm ugly, just say it. Don't beat around the bush." "I didn't say you're ugly. Martial artists don't need good looks. They just need strength," Yang Xiaoman explained weakly. Zhao Xuemei did not mind. She sneered, "It's okay. I don't care. Xiaoman is right. Martial artists only look at strength. Xiaoman is a twice-honed martial artist, and so is Yunxi. I heard that there are only 4 twice-honed martial artists. Although there are fewer girls, we're not weaker than the guys. Among the guys, only that Zhao Lei and Fu Changding are twice-honed martial artists. I don't care about the others. If the 3 of us team up, no one will dare to provoke us." Zhao Xuemei looked confident. Chen Yunxi whispered, "That Fong Ping, isn't he thrice-honed?" "Puffed. He's not an official martial artist. Thrice-honing only means that his breakthrough speed is faster. His actual combat ability might not be that strong. Besides, Does a thrice-honed have time to cultivate combat techniques? What do you guys think? Yang Xiaoman agreed. That's right. This time, we'll be relying on actual combat ability, not just talking. He and Fu Chanding are good at talking, but it's hard to say how good they'll be in actual combat. As the girls were talking, a shout came from the side. Get lost! There were 2 doors in the hall on the 4th floor. At this moment, an official martial artist stood in front of one of the doors and shouted, "The 4th floor is not a place for you people." The person he was scolding was a group of 4 boys. Hearing the rude scolding, one of them said angrily, "Each floor can accommodate 400 people. How many people are there now? Don't go overboard." Overboard? Face the reality. The martial artist student snorted. Without another word, he held a wooden longsword in his hand and slashed at his opponent's shoulder. Without another word. The one who was chosen as the target was the new student who had just retorted. After all, martial artists could not be compared to regular students. This group of 4 was obviously students from the same dormitory in Area 4. Area 4 was originally made up of students who had just entered MCMAU. Their vitality was around 130 calories. Even if a few months had passed, not everyone would have a big improvement. Martial artists had strong vitality, fast movements, and great strength. They had already entered the official bone-honing stage. When the saber slashed down, the other party did not even have time to dodge. Everyone heard a crack. Ah! A blood-curdling scream attracted the attention of many people. The person who was hit was holding his shoulder, his face full of pain, and he kept screaming, "Get lost!" The person who attacked did not even look at him and shouted at the others. A group of bottom feeders wanted to fight for space. Did they really think that the 4th floor was a place anyone could come? You're too much. We're all classmates. The injured student's roommate looked angry and aggrieved. Just as he finished speaking, he saw the martial artist opposite him was about to raise his saber again. This time, the few of them did not dare to shout. The other 3 supported the injured person and walked down the stairs with sullen and indignant faces. Look carefully. The 4th floor. Those without a vitality of 140 calories and above are not allowed to enter. The martial artist who was in charge of establishing his authority roared. Many students who were still watching from the corridor and staircase entrance felt a lingering fear. Many of the new students were even more confused. How could this be? These people actually attacked. A group of students who entered martial arts universities from modern society were like ignorant sheep entering this dangerous barbaric world. In the hall, many martial artists glanced at them and did not pay attention. Since someone was willing to clean up the mess, they were happy to be idle. Otherwise, without a threshold, they would all come later. It would be troublesome. The martial artist who was in charge of establishing his authority did not speak anymore. He found an empty spot and sat down cross-legged. Establishing his authority was not idle. It was to show off his strength. Chapter 98. 2nd floor. Fong Ping strolled around leisurely. He was not bored out of his mind. He just wanted to see the standard of MCMAU's freshmen. Fong Ping did not know much about his own standards, especially in actual combat. He did not have much contact with martial artists. Of the few he knew, Wang Jinyang was a non-human. Tan Jinping was a pure vitality martial artist. Huangbin died quickly, and Zhang Yong had blown someone's head off with one punch. The only one he had experience fighting was the evil sect martial artist. He was a fighter among trash. Other than proving that Zhang Yong's fists were hard, he was useless. That was why Fong Ping did not have a clear definition of his strength even now. He knew that he was thrice-honed, so he should not be too weak, but it depended on who he was compared to. He was compared to old Wang, who could beat him up with one hand. The 1st and 2nd floors were relatively peaceful. There were almost no fights on the 1st floor, and very few on the 2nd floor as well. Even if they fought, it was just a matter of words. "You're here too?" "Yes, I'm here." "Why are you here?" "You can go to the 1st floor." "I can come if you can." "Why can't I come?" Fong Ping had heard this retarded conversation earlier. Even when Fong Ping walked past them, the two of them did not react at all. Fong Ping only saw the first fight when he reached the 3rd floor. Or rather, it was not a suitable fight. Two normal people with higher vitality fought, and some onlookers jeered from the side. There were two advantages to having a high vitality: endurance and endurance. One punch after another, they were having a great time. At this moment, the benefits of having a high HP showed itself. The punches did not hurt too much, and the energy consumption was not too high. Based on the pace of these two, they could fight until the building opened up. I can fight 10 of them at the same time like this. Fong Ping judged that these two had not reached their vitality limit, which meant that their vitality was less than 149 calories. Even if they practiced combat techniques, they were just fancy moves. They should not be called combat techniques. If these people dared to fight without restraint on the third floor, and the others looked as if they were watching a show, it was obvious that the students on the third floor were only average. I don't see any martial artists. I don't see any aspiring martial artists who have broken through their limits either. They must have all gone to the fourth floor. Let's go to the fourth floor. With an example, we can roughly judge the standard of others. Fong Ping himself felt that he was thinking too much and lacked the hot-bloodedness of a young man. However, his habitual thinking led him to always think things through before acting. It has to be changed. Fong Ping made up his mind. It was not that he thought this was bad, but sometimes being too indecisive might not be a good thing. Compared to people like Fu Chanding, he was more reserved and not very sociable. He exhaled a mouthful of turbid air and strode up to the fourth floor. Fourth floor. Ever since a few of the weaker freshmen were chased away, the students who came later were not considered weak. There were almost 70 martial artists and twice-honed students. There were also 30 to 40 people who had broken through 150 calories but had yet to reach 180 calories. Other than these 100 or so people, the students who came up one after another all had vitality above 140 calories. Among them, there were quite a number of peak potential martial artists with 149 calories. Seeing that no one else was coming up, someone in the crowd whispered, "It seems to be easier than I thought." The fourth floor could accommodate 400 people. However, ever since the martial artist who established his dominance required those with vitality above 140 calories to come up, there was a threshold, and the number of people coming up was much lower. Half an hour had passed, and there were only about 300 people on the fourth floor. The remaining people were either loitering downstairs or preparing to go up at the last moment. It was difficult to exceed 400 people even if one took everything into account. This way, everyone felt much more at ease. The average students felt relaxed. After all, they had obtained the opportunity to enter the school of weaponry. However, the stronger students were slightly dissatisfied. If there was no conflict, how could they stand out? Just as many people were thinking about it, someone walked in from outside the door. It was Fu Chanding. Fu Chanding gripped his white wax staff, looked around and shouted, "Where's Chow Chow? Come out!" Everyone was stunned. Just as many people were confused. Tang Songding stood up angrily and said angrily, "Fu Chanding, I dare you to say that again. Chow Chow, come. Let Master Fu teach you a lesson." Fu Chanding laughed out loud. Without waiting for Tang Songding's reply, he swung his long staff. Woo-woo! There was a whining sound in the air. Tang Songding's expression changed drastically. He moved his feet and dodged in a hurry. The people around him who were affected looked grim. Before they could speak, Fu Chanding laughed and said, "I'll fight Chow Chow alone. If you're unhappy, you can come and me together. Master Fu, take it." Arrogant. Someone scolded in a low voice, but no one stepped forward. The people around Tang Songting quickly moved away. These two people were not ordinary, especially Fu Chanding. When he swung his long staff, there was an explosion in the air. At this time, everyone was waiting, and no one wanted to step forward. "Chow Chow, no one is helping you. Don't even think of running away today." F***CKU. Tang Songting was called this nickname in front of everyone, and Fu Chanding took the initiative to attack. No matter how wary he was, he could not hold it in anymore. "Go to hell." Tang Songting stood with his legs apart. His right hand spread out and grabbed the white wax staff. Bang! The two collided, and there was a faint sound of metal clashing. Tang Songting grabbed the white wax staff. His right palm was already red, and the veins on the back of his hand were bulging. Holding the white wax staff, Tang Songting advanced instead of retreating. He clenched his left hand into a fist and punched the white wax staff in his hand, obviously trying to break Fu Chanding's weapon. Idiot! Fu Chanding's eyes flashed with mockery. Others might not know, but you Tang Songting don't know that I hone my lower limbs. He had practiced spear techniques before, but he had not honed his upper limbs, so his strength was average. His true strength was still his right leg. Tang Songting held the staff with one hand and swung his fist with the other. At this moment, he was wide open and had no defense against Fu Chanding. Without another word, Fu Chanding shook his right hand and tossed the white wax staff away. His left leg stomped on the ground, and his whole body soared into the air. His right leg kicked violently at his opponent. Bang! The sound of flesh colliding rang again. Fu Chanding's kick landed on Tang Songting's chest, sending him flying back 3 to 4 meters. Tang Songting staggered and did not fall, but his face paled. He quickly crouched down, clutching his chest. Weak. Too weak. Fu Chanding did not expect Tang Songting to improve so little after not seeing him for a few months. To think that he had regarded the dozen people from yesterday as strong opponents. At this moment, Fong Ping walked out from the door, frowning slightly. This is your strong opponent? He had arrived when the two of them were fighting. He paused for a moment, and Tang Songting was sent flying by Fu Chanding's kick. Fong Ping was disappointed when he saw that Tang Songting was defenseless and wide open. His sternum might have been broken. A martial artist like this was not much different from the evil sect martial artist he had met previously. Compared to Wang Jinyang, the difference was like heaven and earth. Previously, when he had achieved some success in his leg techniques, old Wang had said that he wanted to practice. At that time, Fong Ping's strength was no weaker than Tang Songting's, but in the end, he had been beaten by old Wang single-handedly, like it was a joke. He had been a little worried before, thinking that he might not be able to suppress these people. Now, Fong Ping understood that everyone had different expectations of him. He looked up to Wang Jinyang, the strongest rank one martial artist in Magic City. At this moment, Fong Ping's confidence skyrocketed. Without waiting for Fu Chanding to speak, Fong Ping's gaze swept across the hall, and he said lightly, "Before I came to MCMAU, everyone said that there were many geniuses in the Big Two. I gave up the 10 million reward from Nanjiang Martial Arts University and chose to come to MCMU because I wanted to see the real geniuses. I didn't expect MCMU students to be so weak. Hearing about them is not as good as meeting them in person. What did you say? Outrageous. This guy's in cahoots with Fu Chanding. Are these two bastards going to put on a show again? Tang Songting is in cahoots with them too." Tang Songting stood with his hand on his chest, revealing a bitter expression. "They're in cahoots with God." As soon as Fong Ping's provocative words came out, many people were instantly enraged, calling MCMU students weak in front of everyone. Even if it was only the second day of enrollment, MCMAU had already taken root in their hearts. This was the school they had chosen. This was the gathering place for geniuses like them. This sense of pride had seeped into their bones from the moment they enrolled in MCMAU. At this moment, Fong Ping had belittled MCMAU. Many people were furious. However, when they looked at Fu Chanding, they were slightly fearful. Fu Chanding's strength just now was not weak. What? You only know how to bark a little? Many people told me that martial artists must fight. Martial artists dare to fight. I've always thought that and acted that way. I feel that martial artists in martial arts universities are different. They dare to fight, and fight. But I'm disappointed in MCMAU again. There's so many martial artists. I've stepped on your faces, but other than barking a little, what else have you done? I'm sure that the instructors are watching and listening at this moment. I look down on MCMAU students. The instructors will definitely be unhappy too. They hope that someone will stand up and prove MCMAU's strength. But what about you guys? Fong Ping. The one who spoke was Fu Chanding. Fu Chanding frowned slightly, obviously dissatisfied with Fong Ping's mocking words. If he continued, the students who would not have joined forces would all join forces because of Fong Ping's words. Fong Ping suddenly laughed and turned to look at him. You think I'm mocking you? No, I'm not mocking you. I'm just speaking the truth. It's true. I've seen a student from Nanjiang Martial Arts University, which is the one you call trash. He's 100 times stronger than you guys. He's 100 times calmer and more reserved than you guys. He's not arrogant, doesn't have an inferiority complex, and is neither servile nor overbearing. I've always thought that this is the demeanor of a martial arts university student. If Nanjiang Martial Arts University is like that, what about MCMEU? MCMEU is one of the big two. Even if he's a freshman, he should be outstanding and subdued, right? It's a pity that I didn't see this. I'm really disappointed. I'm starting to wonder if choosing MCMEU was the right choice. Fong Ping, enough. Do you want to die? You can try. Many students were already burning with anger. Fong Ping's repeated belittling of them had pushed them to the limit. If it were not for the fact that there were too many people around and they did not know who should step up, someone would have stepped up to teach Fong Ping a lesson. At this moment, a voice suddenly came from the broadcast in the corner of the hall. Defeat him. Let him understand that MCMEU is not without talents. Just because a normal martial arts school has a genius doesn't mean they can ignore MCMEU. Very well, let us see if you guys are worth nurturing. The instructors are watching your performance. Whoever defeats this arrogant person will be awarded 50 credits. The credits will be deducted from Fong Ping. The hall was silent for a moment. Soon, everyone's gaze changed. The voice just now was from Dean Huangjing. The instructors were watching, the dean was watching, and there was also the 50 credits reward. Even Fu Chanding's gaze was so complicated that it could kill someone. I said, don't play any tricks. Don't play any tricks. What are you doing? What should I do now? Should I stick to the original plan, or beat Fong Ping up to earn those 50 credits? Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. He smiled and said, Dean, if you defeat me, my credits will be deducted. What if I defeat them? Aspiring martial artists 1 point. Martial artists 5 points. You're quite stingy, but it's better than nothing. Fong Ping laughed. He raised the staff in his hand and laughed. You heard me. I fought for your benefits, and you're my benefits too. If martial artists want to fight, then let's start now. As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Ping took a big stride and leaped, landing in the middle of the group of aspiring martial artists. Before the crowd could react, Fong Ping's wooden staff came slashing down with a crackling sound. F***CK. I didn't say anything about fighting. These people yelled in a mess. Many of them were angry and anxious. They had not made a move yet, but Fong Ping had already done so. Bastard, 1 against 300. Kill him. Some of the martial artists reacted and roared in exasperation. Then, they sprinted toward Fong Ping. Bang! Fong Ping's staff landed on a martial artist's head. He did not even bother to watch him scream. His right leg whipped, and the martial artist who ambushed him from the left was sent flying. Vitality is depleting very quickly. It's fine. I have wealth and points to use. I should be able to use them as money. It's not a loss. Fong Ping made up his mind. He had challenged everyone earlier, and he was disappointed. He felt that the MCMU students were far inferior to Wang Jinyang, and he regretted choosing to come to MCMAU. On the other hand, he wanted to show his strength to the MCMU instructors. Now that he had an unexpected gain, it made up for his reluctance to invest. After sending the martial artist who ambushed him flying with a kick, Fong Ping shouted, Did you not eat? I haven't even warmed up. Arrogant. Fu Chanding, whose side are you on? Zhao Lei shouted coldly from the crowd, raising his head to look at Fu Chanding. Fu Chanding gritted his teeth and said suddenly, You're all a bunch of trash. Come on, I'll fight all of you with just the two of us. He had thought it through. What kind of strength could a group attack show? 2 against 300. It was worth it even if he lost. As soon as he finished speaking, Fu Chanding picked up the white wax staff he had just picked up and hit a martial artist who was attacking Fong Ping. He shouted, Dean, I'm Fu Chanding. I want to count my points too. Count. Huang Jing's voice, which could not be heard clearly, came from the loudspeaker. Let's do it. Fu Chanding was overjoyed. Every profit counted. After receiving an accurate answer, he immediately gave up on helping the besieged Fong Ping. Instead, he wandered around the periphery, focusing on attacking the aspiring martial artists. Bang! With one hit of the staff, Fu Channing muttered, 3 points. Bang! 4 points. Crack! This looks like a martial artist. 9 points. No, he didn't fall. F***CK. It's still 4 points. Go! Why are you guys still pretending? Do you really want to see us get defeated by the two of them? The martial artist who had been ambushed by Fu Channing was furious. He looked at the martial artist who had not made a move and was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood, still pretending to be a big shot. Motherf asterisk Kerr. Were they retarded? These two fellows were strong. Aspiring martial artists could easily take them down one by one. Only martial artists had the power to intimidate them. Now, the 30 to 40 martial artists on the periphery were watching the show. Were they idiots? If they were really defeated, they could forget about living. Zhao Lei's expression darkened. Yang Xiaoman gritted her teeth and shouted, Go! Aspiring martial artists, back off. Are you giving us points? Idiots! Not only were these aspiring martial artists useless, but they had also occupied the space around them. They could not fly. Were they supposed to fly over and join the fight? Many aspiring martial artists retreated hastily. Earlier, they had wanted to snatch points, but some had been dragged into the fight. At this time, many aspiring martial artists were already beaten to a pulp. Some of the more serious ones even fell to the ground and were almost trampled to death. When they heard that martial artists were coming, they did not stay and retreated one by one. Fong Ping, who was surrounded in the center, knocked back an aspiring martial artist with a punch. He laughed and said, Why are you leaving? There's so many points. They're all money. Don't even think of running. F***CK. Chapter 99. 3 floors below. Quick, there's a fight on the 4th floor. 1 against 300. Go up and see. Shouts spread through the 3 floors below. Soon, a large crowd rushed up to the 4th floor. No one cared if they would be taught a lesson or not. Little fatty Guosheng squeezed into the crowd. As soon as he reached the 4th floor, he saw Fong Ping send a female martial artist flying with a kick. F***CK. Hitting a woman. Many people also saw this scene and immediately cursed out loud. Fong Ping did not care about them. He even wanted them to come up. It was all points. Martial artists were not easy to fight. If one did not hit hard, they could stand up immediately. It was too difficult to earn 5 points. Aspiring martial artists were better. 1 punch and 1 kick. They could barely stand up after being hit. That was points. Fong Ping reflected on himself after sending a martial artist flying with a kick. He had not cultivated the stickiness formula well enough. His kick would reduce the force. Fong Ping's vitality had been greatly depleted. He had just spent 10,000 wealth to replenish his vitality. 1 credit was equivalent to 10,000 bucks in MCMEU, which was equivalent to 30,000 bucks in the outside world. How did the system calculate it? No matter what, an aspiring martial artist was equivalent to at least 10,000 wealth. In just a short while, he had defeated at least a dozen aspiring martial artists and 2 or 3 martial artists. Almost 30 points. It was still a big profit. Fong Ping also realized that female martial artists were easier to bully. With a kick, they were more fragile than twice-honed aspiring martial artists. It was easy to earn points. That was why Fong Ping had his eyes on another female martial artist. After slapping away an aspiring martial artist who was blocking his way, Fong Ping went straight for the female martial artist, his right leg sweeping out. Fong Ping kicked away his opponent's block and punched him in the chest. Bastard! The girl who was hit clutched her chest in pain. Seeing Fong Ping raise his leg to kick, she roared, I admit defeat, okay. Are you still a man? This girl had a pretty face. During high school, because of her good grades, high vitality, and good family background, she was a goddess in the eyes of almost all high school boys. Who knew that on her second day in the martial arts university, a man would beat her until her chest was about to explode? Angry and anxious, coupled with the pain in her chest, the girl let out an angry roar. Without stopping, she turned around and walked to the side to peep at her chest. She was worried that there would be a problem if she was hit. When Fong Ping saw the situation, he immediately shouted, Girls, admit defeat. Fists and kicks don't have eyes. You can't reason with them if you're beaten to a pulp. Bastard. Pervert. Yinshi, what are you standing there for? Go. Yang Xiaoman and Zhao Xuemei were furious. The three of them were also the strongest among all the girls. Yesterday, out of 19 people, only the three of them were girls. Now, Fong Ping looked down on girls and even attacked a girl's chest shamelessly. His actions immediately drew the ire of a few people. Yang Xiaoman had just rushed forward when Fong Ping blocked a male martial artist's attack while advising her. Girls, don't rush forward too quickly. Punches and kicks really don't have eyes. I won't be responsible if they get blown up. Die. Yang Xiaoman was furious. Her long leg whipped through the air, aiming straight for Fong Ping's waist. Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. Very strong. A twice-honed martial artist was much stronger than the average martial artist. With no time to dodge, Fong Ping grabbed a person beside him and leaned against him. Yang Xiaoman's leg hit the other person. Ah! A scream like that of a pig being slaughtered rang out, scaring the people around them into moving away from Fong Ping and Yang Xiaoman. Zhao Lei, who was about to attack Fong Ping, shouted angrily, Yang Xiaoman, you're hitting your own people. I didn't see anything. Fong Ping is the shameless one. Motherf *Ker is a thrice-honed this strong. Zhao Lei did not continue, but cursed under his breath. This was the first time he had seen a thrice-honed person. Who knew that Fong Ping was so strong? His attack power was actually similar to his, maybe even slightly weaker. However, Fong Ping was shockingly resilient. After being kicked a few times, he returned to normal after a while. Was he still an aspiring martial artist? Moreover, the other's vitality was weakening since the start of the battle, but this guy showed no signs of weakening. At the back of the crowd, Fu Changding cried out in pain and yelled, I've taken pills. If I can't recover my 10 points, I'll lose big. Fong Ping, help me block. You're on your own. Bastard, if it weren't for you, Fu Changding no longer had the energy to speak. In just a short while, there were 7 or 8 martial artists around him. Fong Ping's endurance was too strong. Moreover, Zhao Lei and Yang Xiaoman were there, so it was not appropriate for them to intervene. They would deal with Fu Changding first. These two guys had already incurred the wrath of the crowd yesterday. Today, they came again. If they did not avenge themselves, they would not be human. At the outermost edge, a few students who were not martial artists shouted, Don't huddle together. Martial artists split into 4 groups and take turns. Zhao Lei, Yang Xiaoman, each of you lead a group and take turns to attack Fong Ping. Chun Yinshi, you lead a group and restrain Fu Changding. The rest of you form a group and exhaust their vitality. Those who are twice honed, lead 10 people each. Rotate every 5 minutes. Use long weapons to attack and harass them from the outside. Exhaust them to death. Zhao Lei, Fong Ping's pole standing is at level 2. He could divert force. Don't attack his other parts. Fight him head-on. Use your leg bones to kick him. Thrice-honed isn't as sturdy as a fully honed one. Martial artists use their honed parts to fight them head-on. Don't waste your vitality anymore. MCMEU students were knowledgeable. Some of them had good eyesight, but they were lacking in strength. At this time, these people started giving orders from the outside. The crowd that was panicking at first gradually became orderly. Fong Ping also noticed that following these people's orders, Zhao Lei and the others, who were attacking randomly at first, now focused on one part of his body. Thrice-honed was not a god. Even if his vitality was replenished, his body would still feel pain. Fong Ping clashed head-on with Zhao Lei again. He frowned and cursed. Fu Changding, kill those aspiring martial artists. I can't hold on much longer. Fu Changding was worse off than him. He howled in pain. Chun Yunshi's strength was on par with his. If not for the fact that she was a woman and was not very familiar with combat, she would have been able to hold him back alone. Didn't you want to be a helpless little bird yesterday? How could you be restrained by a woman? Don't talk. I'm so tired. It hurts. I can't talk. Fu Changding wanted to cry. That was not the arrangement yesterday. I wanted a one-on-one battle. It's a battle of attrition, not a siege. It's not one or two. It's 300 people. Although there were only about 10 people at a time due to the limited space around them. If this went on, he would be beaten to death. Fong Ping also realized that this could not go on. He roared, "Get out of here." Aspiring martial artists count as points too. There are so many of them. Kill one. Okay. Fu Chanting had wanted to do this for a long time. He quickly reached out to grab Chen Yinxi's chest. Chen Yinxi was shocked and quickly dodged. Now, an opening appeared in the encirclement. Fu Chanting jumped out of the crowd and squeezed into the crowd of aspiring martial artists. Ah, shameless. How can he get out of here like this? Don't panic. Aspiring martial artists, back off. Make way. The genius commander outside continued to give orders. Just as he finished speaking, the sky above him darkened. Fong Ping had somehow escaped the encirclement, leaped into the air, and kicked him in the face. His nose bled and tears streamed down his face. The genius commander, who had been wantonly giving orders, just now had his face swollen like soy sauce. How could he continue speaking? The other commanders were shocked and quickly moved out of the way. Outside, among the students who were watching the battle from the first 3 floors, someone suddenly said in fear, "Run. He's coming for us?" Fong Ping, we're just watching. We're innocent. The dean didn't say which floor. Everyone who's here counts as points. 1 point is still a point. Fong Ping roared to prevent the dean from going back on his word. Kicking 3 of these aspiring martial artists at once was the shortcut to earning points. The 9th floor. The instructors were all stunned. MCMU's new student branch had been in chaos for so many years, but it had never been as chaotic as today. 2 people had destroyed the entire building of practical training. With the dean fanning the flames and the encouragement of credits, the students had gone crazy. Under normal circumstances, martial artists would rarely involve aspiring martial artists. Although Fong Ping was not a martial artist, he definitely had the combat strength of a martial artist. Now, he was bullying these normal people in the name of earning points. One of the instructors could not stand it anymore. He said angrily, "Dean, it's time to cancel the counting of aspiring martial artists." Huang Jing glanced at him. After a while, he said, "He's also an aspiring martial artist. This Fu Chanting can't be, right? He's being surrounded by martial artists. He hasn't come out yet. It's not important." Everyone was speechless. Someone said helplessly, "It's fine. Let it be chaotic. Let these new students suffer." All of them think that they're God's favored ones after entering MCMU. They haven't realized it yet. Everything is starting from zero. Almost 70 martial artists and more than 1,000 aspiring martial artists are being bullied by a rank 1 martial artist and an aspiring martial artist. The instructor did not know what to say. It was too embarrassing. And it was an embarrassment to MCMU's reputation. Chen Jinhua from the School of Social Sciences said something fair. This Fong Ping is more than thrice honed. His vitality is more than 200 calories. His pole standing has also reached the 2nd level, the firm stance. He can divert force. You should know that pole standing at this level can be called a roly-pole standing toy. As for combat techniques, his leg techniques are very sharp. He's very familiar with outbursts and gathering force. He can also use stickiness well, using the smallest amount of force to unleash destructive power. This kind of combat technique seems to be from a martial arts university. Everyone nodded. They were all experienced and knowledgeable. Someone said immediately, "It's from a martial arts university. It's not taught in the military, nor is it a martial arts training class performance method. It's a martial arts university leg technique." He has a deep understanding of it. The instructor who guided him in leg techniques is not weak. A descendant of a martial arts university instructor? Someone asked doubtfully. The woman who said she was looking for information yesterday smiled and said, "Not really. He's from a normal family. He's from Nanjiang Sun City." This kid said that NMU offered him a reward of 10 million to keep him. I didn't believe it at first, but now I do. Normal family? Someone questioned, "How is that possible?" "We're not surprised that he's from a normal family. even if his vitality is high. But without guidance, his combat techniques and pole-standing cultivation can't be this fast. Also, he's thrice honed. Who provided him with the resources? Huang Jing, who had been silent all this while, said lightly, "Didn't you hear what he said?" He knew an NMU student who was very gentlemanly, neither servile nor overbearing. From his tone, it sounded like he admired the other party. Fong Ping graduated from Sun City No. 1 High School, the same high school as NMU's Wang Jinyang. Rumor has it that Wang Jinyang and Fong Ping are very close. They once worked together to kill a peak rank 2 martial artist in Sun City. Fong Ping regrets not choosing NMAU. Someone offered a reward of 10 million. Let me ask you, with his test result of 149 calories, who in NMU would do that? Wang Jinyang. Immediately, a teacher thought of this person, causing many exclamations and sighs. Nanjiang did not produce many talents, but in the past year, Wang Jinyang must be counted as one. Even if he was only rank 3 now, he was still very far away from everyone. Huang Jing sighed softly. If I'm not wrong, Fong Ping's leg technique probably came from Wang Jinyang. There's a hint of Zhang Qingnan in it. Although NMAU is weak, it's not like they don't have talents. Zhang Qingnan isn't considered weak among the rank 5 martial artists. Even if he came to MCMAU, he would have a place. It's a pity that he led a team to suppress the catacombs in Tiannan and never returned. Tang Feng, the peak rank 6 instructor from the School of Weaponry, who had come upstairs at some point, also sighed. It's a pity. I've met Zhang Qingnan once. He's a rather refined martial artist. His bearing is not bad. In a few years, there's hope for rank 6. NMU's old vice-chancellor is grooming him as his successor. It's a pity. Everyone sighed. Huang Jing coughed softly and said, "Let's not talk about this. Haven't there been many people who have fallen into the catacombs these years? Keep watching. No matter what happens to Fong Ping, there are more than 1,000 people. If these two really defeat them in the end, this batch of new students' credits will be deducted by half." Deans? Huang Jing huffed. A new student guided by an NMAU sophomore actually defeated an entire batch of MCMAU students. MCMAU can't afford to lose face like this. I can't either. The vice-chancellor and the others can't either. If it's not allowed, I'll kick all these new students out of the school. Deducting half credits is a must. Chen Jinhua and the others knew that this decision could not be changed. Even if the vice-chancellor was present, he would not object. After some consideration, Chen Jinhua turned on the microphone and coughed softly. There's still 10 minutes. If Fong Ping and Fu Chanding don't collapse, all new students' credits will be deducted by half. 4th floor. Everyone's eyes turned red. Half credits. Yesterday, everyone did not know the importance of credits. Now, everyone knew that 3 credits were equivalent to a normal vitality pill. Even the students who did not have high vitality were going crazy. This is an undeserved calamity. What does this have to do with us? All students will be deducted by half. Why? Kill him. Hurry up. There's not enough time. We'll kill him even if we spit on him. Go down and get a long weapon. Hit him from a distance. The students were going crazy. Fong Ping could barely stand. At this moment, he was spending most of his time running. His dodging ability was still acceptable because his pole standing was at a high level. His whole body had turned purple from the head-on clash earlier. Vitality could not be used as a painkiller. Fong Ping looked at the crowd with bloodshot eyes and started to worry. Would he be beaten to death? He was worried. Fu Chanding was screaming. I surrender. I surrender. Brothers and sisters, can I surrender? I'm not the mastermind. Fong Ping is. Don't hit my face. I beg you, Fong Ping, you bastard. Ah! Don't stab me there. Don't kick my dick. Sir, I surrender. Fu Chanding, who was surrounded again and again, could not even cry now. He could not take it anymore. It would be useless even if he took all 3 vitality pills. They were not made of steel. They would feel pain when they were beaten. He could still take it 1-on-1 or 1-on-10. But 1-on-1 against 100, round after round, he really could not take it anymore. Soon, Fu Chanding's voice disappeared. Fong Ping heard someone shouting, "Don't step on him. What if he dies? This one's dead. There's not enough time. Quick, the next one." Fong Ping shuddered. Looking at the dense crowd around him, he suddenly leaped up and grabbed the bars of the exhaust vent above his head, shouting, "I admit defeat. I'll count as falling to the ground. I admit that MCMU's new students are awesome." In your dreams, Zhao Lei covered his bruised eye from the beating and roared fiercely. Yang Xiaoman rubbed her chest without batting an eyelid. She sneered, "Come down. You're so small. Do you want to be our target? Come down. We won't kill you." In the crowd, the chubby boy rubbed his head. It was swollen. Who did I offend? He was just watching the show from the outside, but Fong Ping had punched him in the head. He was still dizzy. "I'm not coming down. Don't come over. I'll kill whoever comes over." "Time's almost up. Those on the 4th floor, why aren't you chasing people away? Do you want your credits to be deducted? I've already surrendered. Plus, I remember I only defeated 50 or so aspiring martial artists and 20 or so martial artists. There aren't that many people. Don't stare at me. I'm hurt too. It's serious. Internal injuries. Go away." Looking at the faces around him that wanted to tear him apart, Fong Ping was a little scared. There were so many of them. If they all hit him, would they kill him? Looking at Fu Changding, who was crawling on the ground not far away, Fong Ping shuddered. How tragic. Fu Changding's clothes were almost gone. He did not know which girl had done this to him. His back was covered in bloody claw marks. Fong Ping held onto the vent, refusing to let go no matter what. The others wanted to stab him with their long weapons, but seeing that there was not much time left, Zhao Lei asked unwillingly, "Dean, will our credits still be deducted if we admit defeat?" This time, Huang Jing was silent for a moment. After a while, he said, "No. Count yourself lucky." Zhao Lei snorted. He turned his head and said angrily, "Clear the area." It was not that they did not want to continue, but they really did not have much time left. Also, Fong Ping was still full of energy. Although he had surrendered, it was obvious that he still had the strength to fight. This lunatic, who knew how many pills he had taken beforehand, was he not afraid of exploding and dying? If they continued attacking, the unlucky one would definitely be Fong Ping. But if they caught one and gave him a good beating, that person would also be at a disadvantage. As for whether it was himself or Yang Xiaoman, Zhao Lei felt that it was more likely that he was the one. After glaring at Fong Ping angrily, the crowd dispersed. Before they left, Zhao Lei did not forget to step on Fu Changding's foot. F***CK. Those two bastards, they made everyone lose face. Yang Xiaoman and the other girls were also full of unwillingness, but they let Fong Ping go in the end. When they passed by Fu Changding, they did not forget to give him a kick. Fong Ping shuddered. Fu Changding was really miserable this time. "Fong Ping." Fu Changding moaned in pain. His shoe-marked face looked at Fong Ping, full of anger and resentment. What happened to the one-on-one fight? Chapter 100. 20 minutes later, outside the testing building, a group of older students were watching from the surroundings. When they saw many freshmen walking out of the building with bruised faces, they were all gloating. "It seems like I've been beaten quite a lot this year. Who cares? It's really fun to watch. Last year, we were also surrounded by people and embarrassed ourselves. This year, it's finally our turn to watch the show." "And what's going on? Is that Fu Changding? The one who was very arrogant yesterday was beaten into a pig's head?" F***CK. You can even recognize this. What a genius. Even his parents wouldn't recognize him, right? Yesterday left a deep impression on me. It reminded me of my demeanor in the past. I also thought that he would be beaten up today, but he was really beaten up. Everyone discussed animatedly, with a mocking look on their faces. Fu Changding was helped out by Fong Ping. When he heard the mocking words of the people around him, he said angrily, "I fought 1,000 people alone. Even if I lose, I'll still be proud." TSK. I knew he was shameless. Yesterday, the two of them sang a duet, and today, he's doing it alone. 1 against 10, they believed it. This was because such incidents were not rare in the past. Although they despised Fu Changding was still capable. Everyone could see that yesterday. But 1 against 1,000. Would everyone believe it? None of the older students believed him, and most of the new students remained silent. Some of the more shallow ones retorted angrily. What do you mean 1 against 1,000? 2 people, all right? You're just a bystander. As soon as these words came out, many new students glared at him angrily. Idiot! Everyone had thought it through. They would keep quiet and let them say it themselves. Even if they did, no one would believe them. The fact that Fong Ping was able to stand up for such an embarrassing matter, regardless of whether he won or lost, was a disgrace to everyone else. Now, there was actually an idiot who retorted. Didn't this prove that their 1,000 or so people had really been defeated? This kind of person had actually managed to get into MCMAU. Even Zhao Lei and the others doubted if what Fong Ping said made sense. MCMU was getting worse with each batch. It was really not that great. He had to deny such a shameful thing. Even if he didn't deny it, he had to face it with silence. Idiot! The words of the new student stunned the surrounding seniors. Really? Was it really penetrated? 2 people. The other one is Fong Ping? That should be the case. Look at how the 2 of them are separated by the others. That might really be the case. 1 against more than 1,000. Do you believe it? I don't believe it, not to mention that Fong Ping isn't injured. Fong Ping was indeed uninjured, at least on the surface. He was wearing a tight-fitting training outfit with long sleeves. His face was not injured, and the injuries were not too obvious. Fu Changding was different. His face was swollen, and there were dense footprints all over his body. It was obvious that he had been beaten up. Therefore, no one believed that the 2 of them could really accomplish such a magnificent feat. Just as the freshmen were silent and the seniors were in a heated discussion, a group of people walked out of the building's entrance. Huang Jing pulled a long face and scoffed. The seniors have all left. If you have the time, spend it on practicing and studying. MCMAU students have lost all face because of you. No one knew if he was referring to the freshmen or seniors, but the dean of the School of Weaponry was enraged. This was a Grandmaster powerhouse. Even the older students did not dare to joke around with a Grandmaster, except for Qin Fengqing, who was always courting death. The spectating students dispersed and peeped from the windows of the nearby buildings, not daring to approach. After the seniors left, Huang Jing said lightly, "Line up according to the floor." More than 1,000 freshmen hurriedly lined up according to the floor they had decided before the doors opened. No one dared to make up the numbers. A martial artist's memory was stronger than that of an average person. Moreover, there were surveillance cameras. Playing tricks in front of a grandmaster was asking for abuse. Each batch is worse than the last. Huang Jing waited for everyone to finish lining up and scolded softly. There was dissatisfaction and admonishment. Although there were only about 100 people who actually participated, there were so many of them, and Fong Ping managed to fish in troubled waters until the end. MCMU was not a school that cultivated individual geniuses. MCMU and NMU were different. NMU had been weak for many years and needed a genius now. They needed a banner to carry the torch. MCMU, on the other hand, cultivated more geniuses, countless geniuses. Now, only Fong Ping and Fu Changding performed well. The others had lost face. This was not a situation Huang Jing wanted to see. Although he was angry, he still had the mentality of a grandmaster. Huang Jing calmed his anger and continued, "The school allocation has ended. Some performed well, some performed badly. One step behind, and you will always fall behind. All of your performances today, including me, have been observed by the instructors. If the first impression is bad, do you think the instructors will look at you differently in the future? There are so many geniuses. We can cultivate and support them, but you have to show your value. If we can't see your value, why should we nurture you? Just because you're an MCMEU student? Of course, don't be arrogant in victory or discouraged in defeat. Today was just a bunch of kids messing around. Even if you become the king of kids, there's no need to be overly arrogant. No matter how powerful the king of kids is, he's still the king of kids. In front of adults, he's still an insensible child. Huang Jing's words were not meant to suppress Fong Ping and Fu Chanding, but the truth. Not to mention the instructors. Even if Fong Ping, who had performed extremely well today, was thrown into any of the sophomores and juniors, it would not be a big deal. If they really thought that they could look down on MCMU just because they showed off their power among the new students, then they were underestimating MCMU too much. Even if Wang Jinyang came to MCMU now, if he really wanted to suppress him, there were at least 10 people among the entire MCMU students who could. For rank 4, MCMU still had 6 students who had not graduated. As for rank 5, MCMU still had 2 students who had not graduated. It was just that these middle-ranked rank 4 and 5 martial artists rarely stayed in school. Some guarded the catacombs, some went to the Department of Investigation Services for internships, and some went to the local or the military department to assist those feudal officials. Huang Jing gave a few simple words of advice and did not stay for long. As a grandmaster, he had a lot of things to do now. It was not easy for him to find time to watch these new students play house. As soon as Huang Jing left, an instructor shouted, "School of Weaponry, come to Field 1. School of Tactics, come to Field 2. Fong Ping followed the crowd to Field 1. He could not help but whisper, "Where are the credits?" Fu Chanding said sheepishly, "I don't know. Maybe the dean felt embarrassed, so shut up, both of you." At this time, Tang Feng from the School of Weaponry appeared behind the two of them. He said, somewhat speechless, "Is the dean that kind of person? After the school has distributed the credits, they'll all be distributed to you. Do you think the dean will personally show up for tens or hundreds of credits?" To a grandmaster, this kind of thing was as insignificant as a sesame seed or a mung bean. So what if it was tens of thousands of credits? After saying that, Tang Feng smiled and said, "You did well, especially Fu Chanding." Huh? Fu Chanding was stunned for a moment. Fong Ping was a little disgruntled. "Did I not do well?" Tang Feng smiled faintly. "I'm referring to my opinion. I don't like students who are too crafty. Fu Chanding is straightforward, which suits my style better." He was known for his aggressive ways, and people called him Mad Lion. Fu Chanding had first challenged Tang Songting, and then, when surrounded by so many students, he did not retreat. It was a little too much to say that Fu Chanding did not retreat. All in all, Tang Feng still thought highly of Fu Chanding. As for Fong Ping, he thought highly of him too. However, an instructor like him would have no problem taking in one Fu Chanding, but it would be too much to take in Fong Ping as well. In this year, these two had the best performance. Although he was a peak rank 6 and was known as the first person under the dean, there were many rank 6 instructors. There was no need to fall out with one student. If he took in Fu Chanding, he would let them fight for Fong Ping. Given his status, no one would try to snatch Fu Chanding away from him. Naturally, there was no need to say all this out loud, but both of them understood what it meant when he said he thought highly of Fu Chanding. Fu Chanding was a little embarrassed. He was very anxious now. What should he do? He thought highly of instructor Luo Yichuan, but his performance was too good. The top instructor of the School of Weaponry, Tang Feng, actually thought highly of him. This was not an ordinary instructor. If he rejected him, would it not seem like he did not know what was good for him? If he did not reject him, did he have to learn hand-to-hand combat with Tang Feng? He wanted to learn spears. Spear techniques were so cool. Saber techniques were so crude. Swordsmanship was so girly. He did not want to learn other things like clubs, hammers, and axes. Spear techniques were so cool. Learning hand-to-hand combat. Fu Chanding was conflicted. Do I look like the kind of boorish guy who looks strong? For a moment, Fu Chanding wanted to cry, but no tears came out. What's with the instructor's eyes? I was beaten up so badly, yet he thinks highly of me and even said that I performed well. There's no justice in this world. Fu Chanding was resentful. Fong Ping was helpless. Guosheng was at a loss. Who am I? Where am I? That was probably what Guosheng was thinking. He had no idea what had happened. First, he had been beaten up while watching the show. Then he had expressed his indignation at Fong Ping. After that, there was no after that. After that, the others had gone to clean up the unnecessary people. He stood alone in a corner, dumbfounded. No one paid attention to him. He did not leave either. Yes, he did not leave. He only wanted to ask Fong Ping why he had beaten him up. That was why he had stood near Fong Ping, ready to ask him when he came down. I'm so kind. Why did you beat me up? Maybe it was because no one wanted to come to Fong Ping's place. Plus, there were enough people, so no one chased him away. When the building opened, he was already on the 4th floor. There were no waves, no ups and downs. Just like that, he followed the School of Weaponry team in a daze. He walked until he started to doubt his life. How did I get into the School of Weaponry? Field 1. At this moment, the instructors of the School of Weaponry had set up a platform on the field. Tang Feng did not waste any time. He walked to his platform and said, "You can choose your instructor freely. Remember, look carefully at the conditions in front of the instructor. Everyone knows that the instructors don't know the same things. What suits you is the best. Some instructors are strong, but they don't know how to teach students. Some instructors might be weaker now, but they're much stronger than you guys. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't think that you're omnipotent, and that even rank 4 and rank 5 can't teach you. All right, let's not waste any more time. Hurry up and choose. Once you've chosen, you'll have a day off tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, you'll have a week of group training. After that, classes will officially start." As soon as he finished speaking, many people ran to Tang Feng. The instructors did not bother to explain to them one by one. Their conditions were written on the table in front of them. Martial artists, male or female. Twice honed is preferred. Teach basic fist techniques and basic leg techniques. Only 5 people at level 08. This was Tang Feng's requirement. It was not high, but it was not low either. At least one martial artist seemed to have eliminated Fong Ping. Of course, if Fong Ping really chose him, Tang Feng would not reject him. Instructors usually would not reject twice-honed or thrice-honed students. Fong Ping glanced at it, then looked at the other instructors. Instructor Luo Yichuan, whom Fu Chanding had his eyes on, had much higher requirements. Martial artists, or vitality of more than 180 calories. Honing upper limbs first. Stable stance. Fu Chanding saw it too. He said gloomily, "What's going on? I hone my lower limbs first. Can I?" As he said that, he did not hesitate and quickly looked at instructor by Ruashi's conditions. Female. No limit to honing progress. Love swordsmanship. Teach basic sword techniques. Swordsmanship has many variations. Don't choose those who use big moves. F***CK, they're only recruiting girls. Fu Chanding was even more frustrated. If he went to Luo Yichuan might not reject him. Tang Feng had already tried to recruit him. It was not that he did not have a choice. He just felt conflicted. Fong Ping ignored him and continued looking. Soon, Fong Ping saw instructor Su Jianzhou, whom he had wanted to choose yesterday. Fong Ping had never seen this instructor before. However, the instructor's nameplate was on the table, so he was not afraid of being mistaken. No limit to male or female. Twice honed is better. Teach basic sword techniques. Note, many things have been happening recently. Neglecting teaching students, mainly taught by Luo Feng, a 4th-year student. Fong Ping frowned. Lion Tang did not think highly of him. He thought Fu Chanding was better. Fong Ping had his own pride and did not want to choose Big Lion. As for Luo Yichuan, it did not matter if he had spear techniques or not. However, he wanted to focus on honing the upper limbs. Fong Ping was not suitable because he wanted to focus on the lower limbs when he cultivated the horse riding stance. Of course, it was the same when he reached rank 2. Fong Ping felt that he could reach rank 2 soon. Su Jianzhou did not have high requirements. He would not have a problem. However, he wanted his own student to teach him. This was not what Fong Ping wanted. In the School of Weaponry, there were a total of 5 rank 6 instructors. As for the other 2, one of them was a slightly older elder. He specialized in palm techniques, not the mainstream leg techniques or fist techniques, but palm techniques. His pair of iron palms was also quite famous. Fong Ping did not like it. It was too restrictive. The other was the middle-aged woman from before. Her name was Awesome. It was really awesome. Many students were peeking at her. Unconquerable Wu. Yes, she was awesome and confident. Her name was Unconquerable Wu. Fong Ping was stunned. Fu Changding did not mention this person yesterday. Where did this new instructor come from? And the other party's recruitment conditions were also very awesome. Fong Ping, Fu Changding, Zhao Lei, Yang Xiaoman, Chen Yunxi, 5 of you can become official students. Zhao Shumei, Tang Songting, Jin Lei, Su Yikai, Zhang Han, 14 of you can become intern students. If you perform well, you can become official students. Fong Ping was sure that he was not mistaken. It was the 19 people who had withstood the pressure yesterday. Among them, he was a thrice-honed martial artist. Fu Changding and the other 3 were twice-honed martial artists. That was why they could become official students. The others had the title of intern students. Did the dean know how awesome this woman was? Did the dean know? Unconquerable Wu. This stupid name. Was it real? Fong Ping was not the only one watching. Many students were watching. Even some instructors were watching. The corners of their mouths were twitching. Goddamn Unconquerable Wu. Tang Feng wanted to gouge his eyes out. What kind of tricks did this crazy woman come up with? The other rank, 6 instructors, also moved their desks discreetly. The omen for martial arts universities this year was not good. It was better to stay away from these abnormal people. Just as Fong Ping was about to look away, Unconquerable Wu seemed to have noticed his gaze. She chuckled and said, "Fong Ping, come to me. I'll make sure you're safe. Otherwise, you're done for. Wang Jinyang has enemies all over the world. No one can protect you. He's beaten up Tang Feng students, Luo Yichuan students, Su Jinzhou students. He's beaten up all of them except mine. Don't think I'm joking. In the battle of martial arts, losing to someone of the same level is a huge grudge. If Wang Jinyang is not defeated, they won't let it go. Wang Jinyang doesn't want to lose, so this grudge is set. You don't want to face your enemies every day. Also, you've offended all the new students this time. Your enemies are all over the world. If you don't come to me, even Lionhead can't protect you." Tang Feng's expression darkened. He said impatiently, "My students aren't that narrow-minded." Unconquerable Wu said mildly, "It's fine if we're from the same hometown, but what about Half-Master? Lionhead, can you guarantee that your students won't hold a grudge?" Tang Feng snorted and no longer paid any attention to him. Being from the same hometown, the same school, and the same desk, it was fine. It did not involve martial arts. However, if it was Half-Master, it would be different. If Fong Ping and his students were of the same rank, and they were in the same school, it was almost certain that unless the other party was completely beaten into submission, Fong Ping would not have peace. Half-Master? At this moment, many people frowned slightly. Some instructors did not look too good. Old One did not give them face when he came to Magic City. Many of their students had been beaten up miserably. If they really took Fong Ping in, there might be internal strife among the students. Of course, they were not afraid of anything. If Fong Ping really came, they would take him in. However, if there was a conflict between him and their students, the most they could guarantee was that no higher-ranked students would bully Fong Ping because of their ranks. As for normal sparring, they could not stop it. Looking at the instructor's expressions, Fong Ping felt like he had been tricked. With his performance, it would not be a problem for him to go to any instructor, including Tang Feng. However, after Unconquerable Wu said this, although the instructors did not show anything, judging by their expressions, it would still be a little troublesome. He and Wang Jinyang did not interact much, so it was difficult for outsiders to know their exact relationship. Unconquerable Wu was obviously guessing, and he threw out this guess irresponsibly. For a moment, Fong Ping's expression did not look too good. Anyone who had been tricked would find it hard to accept this fact immediately. Unconquerable Wu did not care if he was willing or not. He laughed and said, "Come, join me, Unconquerable Wu. I promise you won't regret it. In MCMAU, although my strength is not as good as a Grandmaster's, Lionhead is no match for me either. I have dividend shares in the pill manufacturing company. You can have all the pills you want. If you're bullied, just give me a call. Your instructor, will kill them from the south to the north without a frown." Back then, the old thing from Donghu Fong family bullied me because he was a Grandmaster. I hunted him down for 10 years. Everyone knows that I, unconquerable Wu, hold a grudge. Do you understand? Your instructor is protected by a grandmaster. Fong Ping was dumbfounded. The other instructors were a little embarrassed to be associated with him. Chapter 101. Unconquerable Wu. Words stirred up a commotion among the students. As the target of recruitment, Fong Ping also became the focus of everyone's attention. Fong Ping did not say anything. Was this kind of instructor good? It did sound good. At least her take all the pills and have a grandmaster's protection sounded good. However, Unconquerable Wu was very unreliable. A newbie like Fong Ping needed a reliable instructor to guide him in martial arts cultivation. Fong Ping did not have a family background and did not understand many things. He needed someone to guide him. Unconquerable Wu did not look like that kind of person. However, because of the woman's irresponsible words, Fong Ping realized that many of the instructor's students had conflicts with Old Wang. Losing once might not make people hold a grudge. Usually, they would not even remember it if they did not see each other. However, if someone brought it up on purpose and said that you were not even as good as the disciple of the person who defeated you, how would you feel? Fong Ping was not Wang Jinyang's student. The woman did not say that either. She said half an instructor, and Fong Ping did not deny it. Could they really ignore the fact that the student of their enemy was studying in the same sect as them? Even if they had no ill intentions, they would not be able to take it if they challenged you every day. Fong Ping felt a headache coming on. The woman's ability to trick people was top-notch. MCMEU students did not only look at the benefits in front of them. Of course, some were tempted by the woman's extravagant words, but many still kept their cool. Zhao Lei chose Tang Feng, Chen Yunxi chose Bai Ruoxi, and the others walked toward the instructor they had chosen. Fu Changding hesitated for a moment before walking toward Luo Yichuan. For them, rank 2 was not too far away. It was not something they could not make up for, so they did not have to worry too much about it. In the end, only Fong Ping and Yang Xiaoman had not chosen among the 5 official students that Unconquerable Wu had mentioned. Yang Xiaoman was not hesitating because of Unconquerable Wu, but because of Tang Feng or Bai Ruoxi. She was a girl. Choosing Bai Ruoxi was not a bad choice, even if Bai Ruoxi's ability was slightly lower. However, swordsmanship was ever-changing. She did not walk the nimble path, so it was not suitable for her. After hesitating for a moment, Yang Xiaoman walked toward Tang Feng. Unconquerable Wu did not mind. The students had the freedom to choose their own instructor. Even if Fong Ping did not choose her, she would not feel anything. What she had said earlier was just out of character. She did not mean that Fong Ping had to choose her no matter what. Thrice honing was not bad, but if these instructors were willing to invest and spend time, they could also nurture students who were thrice honed out of these ordinary students. Just as Fong Ping gritted his teeth and prepared to go to Su Jianzhou's side, Unconquerable Wu suddenly laughed. Choose another instructor. With your situation, you'll only be rank 4 at most after you graduate in your senior year. If you come to my place, things might be different. As soon as she finished speaking, Tang Feng softly reprimanded. Lu. Wu Wudi glared at him. Tang Feng snorted, but did not call out her name. Instead, he frowned and said, You can fool around, but you still have to know your limits. The fact that Fong Ping was able to reach this stage under such circumstances and complete thrice honing meant that he had sacrificed much more than the others. It's fine if you mess around, but don't treat the student's future as a game. Unconquerable Wu said unhappily. How did I treat my students' futures as a game? You know very well. Tang Feng seemed to have remembered something. He looked at Fong Ping and said, Don't take what you said about Wang Jinyang seriously. Wang Jinyang is just a student. Although he is outstanding, MCMAU is not to the extent that they would be jealous of and oppress a student. Those seniors of yours also lost to Wang Jinyang fair and square. If someone really wants to cause trouble for you because of their failure, it means that their temperament is not good. These kinds of seniors will not be a threat to you. You're thrice honed and performed very well in the school branch. No matter who you choose, None of the instructors here will hide anything from you. As MCMU instructors, we have our own selfish motives. However, as long as you're our student, even if you're not, when you have doubts, we will give you guidance as long as we have the time. MCMAU is a school. All rivers run into the sea. It's not the mountain gate of the past. The reason why instructors are allowed to choose a certain number of students is because our energy is limited. It doesn't mean that we are these students' private instructors. Fong Ping, how you choose is up to you. Don't worry that not choosing someone will negatively affect you. These words were obviously meant for Unconquerable Wu to hear. The woman humphed but did not say anything. She only said lightly, "What Lionhead said is that my students will be more dangerous. I don't deny that. However, since you've chosen martial arts, of course you have to learn how to fight. If you study step by step, you can graduate smoothly. But what about after graduation? Among the martial arts grandmasters today, how many of them reach the pinnacle of their lives after graduating smoothly? Many grandmasters become grandmasters because they dare to challenge others, but do not dare to. They are capable, but do not. Fong Ping, I know a little about your situation. Do you have a large family to support your cultivation? Do you have a rank 6 or even rank 7 grandfather or grandmother? You don't even have a martial artist in your family. Are you counting on your family to help you go further? Fu Changding's grandfather is a peak rank 6 powerhouse. Even if he didn't enter MCMEU, it wouldn't be difficult for him to reach the middle ranks with his family's financial resources. Zhao Lei's father is also a rank 5 martial artist. He runs his own business. Most of the others are like that. What do you have? It's better to rely on yourself than others. If you don't dare to fight, how far do you think you can go? Since you know Wang Jinyang, you should know that it was much more difficult for him to get to where he is now. What's the benefit of offending a large number of rank 1 martial artists in Magic City? Is it necessary to go to the north and challenge peak rank 3 martial artists one by one? Because he has no choice. If he doesn't fight, he won't be able to get to where he is now. If what Unconquerable Wu said before was a little unreliable and reckless, then what she said now hit the nail on the head. Yes, Fong Ping was different from others. He did not have a powerful father to support his cultivation. He could only rely on himself. If he did not fight, how could he compete with others? The other instructors could guide him in his cultivation and give him a certain amount of help when appropriate, but Fong Ping was not their son, who would support him without hesitation to continue on his path. Fong Ping exhaled softly. He looked at Unconquerable Wu and said, "Instructor, if I study under you, is there any difference between learning from other instructors?" Unconquerable Wu smiled faintly. "There's not much difference. There are just more missions, more places to go, and more knowledge. Of course, at the same time, it's more dangerous. There are some places that Lionhead and the others can't go, but I can. Lionhead and the others have more students, and I have fewer. In comparison, I can spend more time on you. That's all. As for the rest, you'll have to fight for it yourself. Do you really think that I'll give you pills without reservations? I was just saying." Fong Ping was speechless. The other students wanted to laugh, but dared not. They felt that this instructor was not very reliable. Fong Ping breathed a sigh of relief. He did not believe that there was a free lunch in the sky. MCMU's instructor was not a master in the past. They only had 4 years to interact. After 4 years, it was up to the students whether or not they would recognize this instructor. Under these circumstances, even if the instructor was biased toward the students, it would be limited. They would not go bankrupt just to cultivate the students, who did not have their own children and families. No more indecisiveness. Just based on what the instructor said about getting dividends in the pill company and going to places that others can't, coupled with Unconquerable Wu's analysis of the other students and himself, Fong Ping decided to take a gamble. Suppressing the slight unhappiness from being tricked, Fong Ping stepped forward and said respectfully, "Instructor, I'll be learning from you from now on." Unconquerable Wu smiled. Tang Fong did not try to persuade him. He only looked at Unconquerable Wu and said, "You have to be responsible for your students. In the past few years, you've taught 12 students. More than half of them died before they even graduated. Fong Ping's expression changed. The other students who were about to walk over suddenly stopped in their tracks. Fong Ping was about to curse in his heart. Why didn't Big Lion say so earlier? Unconquerable Wu's expression did not look good either. She said lightly, "You don't have to worry. I know what I'm doing." "I hope so." Their conversation ended there. On Unconquerable Wu's side, because of Tang Feng's words, there was only one person besides Fong Ping who came. Zhao Xuemei. The average-looking girl was a female martial artist. She was not twice honed, but her pole standing and combat techniques were not weak. Fong Ping did not expect that after Tang Feng's words, someone would still choose Unconquerable Wu, and a woman at that. The woman herself was a little surprised. She had no intention of blaming Tang Feng. He had said it, and it was the truth. However, after Tang Feng said it, someone still came. This was a little strange. This girl had guts. The assignment of instructors gradually came to an end. After the assignment of instructors, the students were divided into classes. The classes were mainly for cultural studies and theory classes. The instructors that everyone chose were mainly to guide them in their daily cultivation, not theory. The 400 students were divided into 8 classes. This was because everyone's progress was different. Some people had not even cultivated the methods of honing and pole standing, while some were already martial artists. Naturally, they would not be assigned to the same class. Although Fong Ping was not a martial artist, his progress was not slow. In the end, he was assigned to Class 1. The first 3 classes were mainly for martial artists and aspiring martial artists who already had a certain level of foundation. The last 5 classes were mainly for normal students who did not know anything at all. After the assignment of classes and instructors, the day's mission was completed. Before Unconquerable Wu left, she threw an access card to Fong Ping and Zhao Xuemei. In the beginning, you will mainly attend theory classes and cultural studies. As full-time instructors, we will rarely give you individual guidance, unless it's a major class. However, the 2 of you are a martial artist and a thrice honed, so you should have a certain understanding of those things. If you have any questions in your spare time, you can look for me at the instructor's dormitory. Especially Fong Ping. If you need to apply for a breakthrough, you can look for me. When the next semester comes and you've passed the adaptation stage, we'll have a lot more time to interact. As she spoke, Unconquerable Wu thought for a moment and threw a bottle of pills at each of them. Normal vitality pills, used to replenish vitality. You'll have to fight for the good ones. These normal pills are only for saving time and recovering vitality. Use them as you see fit. After saying that, the woman left without saying anything else. Fong Ping and Zhao Xuemei were at a loss. They were not the only ones. The other students felt the same way. They had gone through the instructor selection with a bang, but the instructors were so irresponsible. Most of them left after saying a few words. Some of the instructors were slightly better. They brought some students to meet their seniors, but most of the instructors had no intention of doing so. Fong Ping picked up the pill bottle in his hand and looked at it. Unconquerable Wu was not stingy. She gave him a bottle of normal vitality pills, and each bottle contained 10 pills. If he bought it outside, it would be worth millions. Even in school, it would cost 30 credits to exchange for 1 bottle. From this point alone, it seemed like she was telling the truth when she said she got a bonus from the pill company. Zhao Xuemei was shocked. She did not expect the instructor to give her a bottle of vitality pills right off the bat. The 2 of them looked at each other. Fong Ping laughed dryly. "Hello, I'm Fong Ping." "I know." Zhao Xuemei's tone was not pleasant. She huffed. "You kicked me just now." "I haven't forgotten." After saying that, she introduced herself. Zhao Xuemei. The 2 of them were speechless after saying their names. After all, they were not familiar with each other, and Fong Ping had just beaten her up. At that moment, Fu Changding and the others walked over. Yang Xiaoman pulled Zhao Xuemei back and gave Fong Ping a dissatisfied look. She huffed softly. "You actually chose the same instructor as him. Xuemei, you should have chosen instructor Tang Feng like me." Zhao Xuemei smiled. "It's nothing. When choosing an instructor, of course I have to choose one that suits me. I think Instructor Wu is quite suitable for me. Yang Xiaoman laughed. Her surname is Lu. What Instructor Wu? Do you really think her name is Unconquerable Wu? Obviously, Yang Xiaoman knew something. She was not the only one. Fu Changning knew something about it too. Seeing that the girls did not like him and Fong Ping, he did not pester them. He pulled Fong Ping along as they walked. The instructor's choice is usually up to themselves. I didn't try to persuade you just now. Instructor Lu? Oh, I mean your instructor. Her full name is Lu Fengru. Instructor Lu's strength is actually not bad. You could say she's no weaker than Instructor Tang Feng. Before I came, I heard from my elders that if we meet Instructor Lu, try not to choose her. Actually, Instructor Lu isn't one of the new student instructors this time. I thought she was attending the opening ceremony when she was at the podium. That's why I didn't mention her when I introduced her to you. Instead, I introduced another rank 6 instructor. Who knew that she'd been replaced when I arrived? I'm not too sure about the details, but it's just like what Instructor Tang Feng said. In the past few years, Instructor Lu's students have had a higher casualty rate. Fong Ping thought for a while and asked, she doesn't have the habit of deliberately harming students, right? Fu Changning laughed. That's impossible. She might have a weird personality, but almost all martial arts university instructors won't harm students. If that's the case, neither the dean nor the vice-chancellor would let her continue teaching. Then there's no problem. Fong Ping knew that Lu Fengru did not deliberately harm students. Although he was a little worried about the high casualty rate, he did not think too much about it. He had chosen his own path, and there were indeed high returns. At least the 10 normal vitality pills in his hands were proof. After thinking for a while, Fong Ping said, "All right, you mentioned that we should go to the logistics department to collect our credits. Are you going to the logistics department or the hospital now?" "Why are we going to the hospital?" Fu Changning looked suspicious. Fong Ping glanced at him and said calmly, "My face is a little swollen. I almost didn't recognize you just now. Are you sure you don't want to go?" Chapter 102. Half an hour later. The university's logistics department. The logistics department occupied a 3-story building. Most of MCMAU's buildings were in the form of service halls, and the logistics department was no exception. The first floor was divided into 3 areas. The left corner had 5 windows, which were the new student services. There were a total of 20 windows on the right and 15 windows on the left. These 35 windows were all for the senior students, including credit inquiry and redemption. Right in front of them was a row of 10 windows, which were responsible for resource exchange. When Fong Ping and the others arrived, there were both new and old students in the hall. Some of the old students were even carrying weapons, and their auras were intimidating. It looked like they had just returned from a mission. The old students were very quiet, looking straight ahead as they lined up quietly. The new students, on the other hand, could not help but look around curiously. Obviously, many people did not expect MCMU's arrangement to be so different from other universities. It was also Fu Changning's first time here. He looked around curiously, which attracted a lot of attention. This guy was really too eye-catching. His face was getting more and more swollen. It was hard to associate him with the handsome, sunny guy from before. Many of the new students had not arrived yet, and there were not many people in front of Fong Ping and the others in the queue. Soon, it was Fong Ping and the others' turn. Fu Changning hurried forward, craning his neck to ask, "Help me check my credits." The staff was not surprised at all. Pigs were not rare either. He said calmly, "Name, student number, and dormitory number. When your martial arts licenses are issued, you can just swipe them. I need to check now." Fu Changning, New Students Area 1, Room 15. Student number is... Wait a moment. After a while, the staff looked up and said, "Basic credits are 50 points. Instructor Tang Feng just said that Dean Huang Jing awarded you 45 credits, 95 points in total." "Only 45 points?" Fu Changning said gloomily. "So little? I remember that I killed a large number of martial artists. Why are there so few?" The staff ignored him and said calmly, "Instructor Tang Feng arranged it. You can appeal." Fu Changning was embarrassed. He did not dare to appeal. He had just chosen Instructor Luo Yichuan. and Tang Feng might be unhappy. Fong Ping ignored him and went forward. Fong Ping, new students area 1, room 86. Student number is basic credits 50 points. Awarded credits 152 points. The staff member was slightly surprised. He lifted his head to look at Fong Ping and said, a total of 202 credits. It's been quite a few years. It's very rare for a new student to have so many credits when he just arrived. Fong Ping asked, other than exchanging credits for pills, are there any other uses? Of course, there are many uses for academic credits. The staff member explained, this includes the use of some training grounds and auxiliary equipment. Under normal circumstances, the school has public areas that you can use for free. However, to use it alone or to use some high-end auxiliary equipment, he would have to spend his own credits. In addition, the credits could be used for food that could replenish one's vitality. They could also be used to change dormitories. For example, if one felt that their current dormitory was not good enough, they could change to a better place. In short, in MCMAU, there was no problem that one could not solve after learning decomposition. Of course, I advise you new students to use your credits wisely when you have less credits. Exchanging for more pills for cultivation was more important than enjoying life. In addition, credits could be exchanged for cash. One credit was worth 10,000 yuan. Cash can also be exchanged for credits. 30,000 for one credit. Fu Chanding gritted his teeth when he heard that. He said, this is too much. It's only 10,000 in cash, but it's 30,000 in cash. You don't have to exchange. The school doesn't encourage students to exchange money for credits. It's just that some students don't exchange because they have problems even eating and cultivating. That's why they give rich kids like you a chance. Don't talk about me. I'm not even planning to exchange for credits. Fu Chanding did not think that he needed to exchange for credits when he could not even gather enough credits for eating and cultivating. With his current 95 credits, if he spent money, it would be 85 million. It was not like money was worthless. As for Fong Ping, he had just earned 152 credits. If others were to exchange them, they would need 56 million. Adding the 50 basic credits, it would be 606 million in value. It had to be said that Fong Ping had earned a lot in this short amount of time. Of course, if he really wanted to exchange them for money, it would only be 202 million. Fong Ping was not stupid. He would definitely not exchange them for money. After some thought, Fong Ping asked, so, the credits can only be stored with you? Of course not. When the martial arts license is issued, you can use it as a campus ID card. The martial arts license is a combination of a student ID card, a campus ID card, and an ID card. It has many uses. Right now, you can only check your credits. If you want to exchange them for pills, you can't for now. Of course, the martial arts license will be issued very soon. The school is very efficient. Don't worry about that. Fong Ping nodded. It was indeed very fast. They had just completed the school assignment, and their credits had already arrived. In terms of efficiency, MCMU was commendable. The reason why the martial arts license had not been issued yet was because everyone's strength was different from the previous assessment results. Some students had broken through and become martial artists. These people's strength should be re-evaluated after these 2 days of assessment. Then can we go to the exchange office to take a look? The staff smiled. Of course. Also, for new students like you, the exchange catalog is not open to all. Only some of it is open. Thank you. Fong Ping and Fu Chanding did not linger. They hurried to the exchange office in front of them. Their credits could not be used for the time being. They could not exchange for anything, but it was good to take a look. New Students Resource Supply Catalog, Normal Vitality Pill. 3 credits / pill rank 1 Vitality Pill. 10 credits / pill rank 2 Vitality Pill. 20 credits / pill rank 1 Bone Honing Pill. 15 credits / pill rank 2 Bone Honing Pill. 30 credits / pill rank 1 Viscera Shielding Pill. 20 credits / pill rank 2 Viscera Shielding Pill. 60 credits / pill weapon. E-Class Alloy Weapon. 10 credits / KGD Class Alloy Weapon. 20 credits / KG. The exchange catalog was clear at a glance. Fong Ping and Fu Chanding were even given an exchange catalog each. The person in charge of supplying resources was not an ordinary staff, but a martial artist. Seeing that Fong Ping and Fu Chanding were engrossed in the catalog, he chuckled. There aren't many things in the exchange catalog for new students, but it's enough for you guys below rank 3. A rank 1 vitality pill, a bone honing pill, and a viscera shielding pill are definitely enough for an aspiring martial artist to break through to a martial artist. It's also safe enough. These 3 items only cost 45 credits. That's why the school gives you 50 basic credits. Some people might say, what about my usual cultivation? That can't be helped. You have to rely on yourself. Otherwise, you can choose not to exchange for the viscera shielding pill. Some people can break through with the rank 1 vitality pill without the viscera shielding pill or the bone honing pill. When you guys break through to rank 1, the school will reward you too. 50 credits will be enough for you to use for a while, Fu Chanding said hurriedly. What about us students who enter the school as martial artists? Nothing. The instructor in charge of the exchange said disapprovingly. Breaking through to become a martial artist is your own choice. You'll also have an advantage in the early stages of the competition. Once you become a martial artist, you can choose a good school and a good instructor. This is your own investment. The school won't help you make up for this. Fu Chanding and the others became martial artists because their families spent resources. It might seem like a loss, but in reality, if they did not become martial artists and did not perform well, they would not have been given a rank 6 instructor. That's why the school won't compensate them for this. You have to give something in return. If you get something in return, but you don't want to give something in return, there's no such thing. Fu Chanding was a little disappointed. 50 credits was not a small amount. He had only gotten 45 credits after being beaten into a pulp. Fong Ping did not care about this. He was not a martial artist yet. After looking at the exchange catalog for a while, Fong Ping asked, Instructor, what does this weapon exchange level mean? Most cold weapons nowadays are forged with alloys. Alloys are divided into hardness and softness, as well as flexibility. You should all know this. That's why they're divided into 5 levels according to their overall strength, ABCD. In reality, there's also FG and the like, but that's no different from normal steel. Martial artist weapons can only be used up to 5 levels. Also, weapons come in different sizes, so you can't exchange for one weapon. E-grade alloy weapons are already extremely tough. I wouldn't dare to say that they can cut through iron like mud, but if they were to collide with household knives, the household knives would definitely be damaged. There's no need for you to exchange for these now. The forging of a weapon requires at least 5 kilograms of alloy. Even the cheapest E-grade alloy requires 50 credits. The most important thing now is to become martial artists, learn combat techniques, and master basic theoretical knowledge. When you're in your sophomore year, you can accept missions. It won't be too late to exchange then. I can only accept missions in my sophomore year. Not really. It depends on your strength. I'm talking about the general situation. After all, not everyone can break through to become a martial artist so quickly. The freshman year is for everyone to break through. Then what are the requirements to accept missions? Martial artists are fine, but once you accept missions, you'll be responsible for your own life and death. Don't treat missions like a joke. You'll die for nothing. Under normal circumstances, it's best to wait for the school to organize a few trial missions. After you've gained some experience, then you can accept missions. The instructor answered everything he knew. The school's purpose was to answer questions. Unless it was information that had nothing to do with them, he would answer whatever Fong Ping asked. After leaving the logistics department, Fong Ping shook his head. 200 credits may seem like a lot, but it's only enough for a few rank 2 pills. They're too expensive. Fu Chanding said impatiently, Don't be greedy. Because MCMAU participates in the production of pills, the price of pills is shockingly cheap. A rank 2 viscera shielding pill costs 2 million in the market, but it only costs 60 credits here, which is 600,000. Of course, if you buy it with money, it'll cost 8 million, which is about the same price as if we buy it ourselves. The school is also trying to stop students from spending money to buy pills for sale. Rank 2 viscera shielding pills were sold for 2 million, but that was only for normal people. Under normal circumstances, 8 million was definitely enough if one had the means to buy it. In MCMEU, 60 credits did not seem like much, but if one were to spend money to exchange for credits, it would cost 8 million. In this way, MCMEU did not impose any restrictions, but in reality, this was the biggest restriction. Students did not have the qualifications to be second-hand dealers. Fong Ping sighed. He had really earned a lot this time. 202 credits and 10 normal vitality pills were converted to 232 credits. Before he received the credits, Fong Ping's wealth did not increase. However, after the inspection just now, the credits belonged to Fong Ping. His wealth had skyrocketed all of a sudden. 10 minutes ago, Fong Ping's data was as follows: wealth 190,000 vitality, 209 cal mentality, 210 hertz to maintain peak condition. Fong Ping had been using his wealth to keep his vitality and mentality at peak condition. From the 1 million wealth he had the night before, he had spent 200,000 wealth in the previous round. But it was definitely worth it. At this moment, Fong Ping's wealth had increased by a large margin. Wealth 664,000 vitality, 209 cal mentality, 210 hertz. His wealth had increased by 74 million in an instant. One credit was equivalent to 20,000 wealth. Of course, if he calculated it this way, he still had an extra 100,000 wealth. On the other hand, Fong Ping's eyes lit up. He realized that the extra 100,000 wealth points probably came from the 10 normal vitality pills. Before this, Fong Ping had calculated that a normal vitality pill could bring him 70,000 wealth points. Now in MCMAU, a normal vitality pill was 3 credits. If one credit was 20,000 wealth, there was a difference in the middle. In other words, if Fong Ping exchanged his 202 credits for 67 normal vitality pills, it was very likely that he would have an extra 670,000 wealth. Should I give it a try? Fong Ping was slightly tempted. If he exchanged 67 normal vitality pills now, he could increase his wealth by another 670,000. If he sold these 67 pills, it was very likely that he would make a huge profit, increasing his wealth and cash again. To others, this kind of transaction was not worth it. If they sold it, they would have to spend twice the amount of money to exchange for credits. It would not be profitable. Even if they made a profit, it would be a small amount. It was meaningless. However, Fong Ping was different. If he sold it, he might not make a profit in terms of money compared to credits, but he would earn a lot of wealth in the middle. The key is, if I sell so many pills, will the university target me? If it's through channels, it'll be fine if it's just a small amount. But if I sell so many pills, it won't be a small business. I might have to give them a discount before I can sell them. If that's the case, I won't make a lot of money. The main thing is my wealth. Fong Ping calculated for a while and decided to wait and see. He did not have too many credits at the moment. He did not have channels to buy some pills, such as rank 2 pills. He might need them in the future, so he would keep the credits for now. The main thing was that he had enough wealth for now. It replenished the wealth that Fong Ping had spent these few days. More than 6 million wealth was enough for him to use for a while. I'm off tomorrow. Just nice. I'll go look for the instructor and break through rank 1. Fong Ping was already feeling a little impatient. No matter how powerful a thrice-honed was, it was still a thrice-honed. If he did not use his cheat, Fong Ping might not be a match for Zhao Lei and Fu Chanding when he fought them. At least, when it came to a head-on fight, his bone strength was not as strong as the other parties. Chapter 103. The next day, the freshmen rested. The new students were resting. The entire Magic City Martial Arts University seemed to have quietened down. In the morning, Fong Ping finished his daily training. After breakfast, he prepared to head to the teacher's dormitory area. As soon as he left the cafeteria, Fong Ping raised his eyebrows slightly. Qin Fengqing, who was standing outside the canteen, had a playful look on his face. He crossed his arms and smiled. Junior, we're quite fated. Senior Qin, when I saw Junior brother, I only knew that your vitality wasn't weak and that you've successfully honed your bones twice. I didn't expect you to be thrice honed. I was blind. Senior Qin, you must be joking. I only achieved thrice honing a few days ago. So that's how it is. I thought my eyesight was really that bad. Qin Fengqing seemed to have been relieved of a burden, and a wide smile appeared on his face. Listen, it's not that I saw wrongly, he just broke through. After the small talk, Qin Fengqing returned to the topic at hand. Do you know the martial arts club? Fong Ping nodded. I know, but I don't know much about the specifics. Let's talk while we walk. I didn't have the chance to bring junior brother around last time, but I can this time. Fong Ping did not reject Qin Fengqing's invitation. He had only met Qin Fengqing once. This person was obviously waiting for him today. Since he mentioned the Martial Arts Society, it must be related to the Martial Arts Society. Fong Ping guessed that the Martial Arts Society was recruiting. Student dormitory, faculty dormitory, family building. These residential buildings were built around a man-made lake. Although it was a man-made lake, the lake was not small. It was more than 100 acres in size. MCMU's instructors and students liked to call this lake Safe Haven. In fact, this man-made lake originally had another name, but not many people knew about it now. Qin Fengqing did not know either. He introduced the place to Fong Ping and smiled. Do you know why it's called Safe Haven? Fong Ping shook his head slightly. Because sometimes, only here can we enjoy some peace. Out of the residential area, to the other parts of the school, you have to fight, snatch, and fight. Not only in school, but outside as well. Violence was prohibited in the residential area. Outsiders were prohibited from entering, and outsiders did not dare to enter. That's why this is the last safe haven for MCMU people. Fong Ping turned his gaze to the clear surface of the lake. In the early morning, a ray of sunlight refracted the surface of the lake, causing it to ripple slightly. Looking at it made him feel much more relaxed. Fong Ping did not reply. Instead, he said directly, Senior Qin, if you have something to say, just say it. I still have to go to the instructor's place later. Impatient, Qin Fengqing smiled and stopped talking. He went straight to the point. You know Wang Jinyang? Yes. Fong Ping frowned slightly. After some thought, he added, My martial arts foundation was built by Brother Wang, so you can say that. I know almost nothing about martial arts cultivation. It's all Brother Wang's guidance. Does Senior Qin have a grudge against Brother Wang? It's not a grudge. Qin Fengqing chuckled. At the beginning of the year, Wang Jinyang came to Magic City. At that time, we were both peak rank 1. After we fought, I was no match for Wang Jinyang. I only had a few broken ribs. Of course, I broke through to rank 2 very quickly after the incident. I even became courageous after feeling ashamed. In less than half a year, I entered rank 3. Speaking of which, I have to thank him. Fong Ping was a little surprised. Firstly, he did not expect old Wang to beat Qin Fengqing up. As expected, old Wang's opponents were all over Magic City. Secondly, Qin Fengqing had broken through 2 ranks in half a year. This speed was not slow at all. According to Qin Fengqing, he was only peak rank 1 in the first semester of his sophomore year. By the end of the second semester, he had entered rank 3. He was only in his junior year now. Qin Fengqing continued, Although there's no grudge, it doesn't mean I'll let it go. Qin Fengqing raised his eyebrows. He turned his head to look at Fong Ping and said playfully, I was going to challenge him at Nanjiang Martial Arts University. I didn't expect Wang Jinyang to break through to rank 4. How disappointing. It's okay. I don't care about these things. Since Wang Jinyang is going to break through to rank 4, I'll bear with it for a while longer. You, on the other hand, are thrice honed. You might be able to reach rank 3 soon. Junior, do you think I should find someone to sacrifice before challenging Wang Jinyang? Sacrifice? Fong Ping narrowed his eyes and said, Senior Qin is no match for Brother Wang. Are you going to take revenge on me? If you say so. Of course, I won't bully others. If you're not rank 3, I won't trouble you. If you're rank 3 and I haven't broken through to rank 4, Junior Fong Ping, you'll have to fight me on the battle stage. Qin Fengqing suddenly laughed and said, Actually, I'm quite broad-minded. I'm still waiting for you to reach rank 3. Fong Ping, do you know how many people Wang Jinyang offended when he first came to Magic City? Counting at least 100. So what? So what? Qin Fengqing sneered. You really don't know anything. Do you think it's just a simple spar? Qin Fengqing humphed. Wang Jinyang is a freshman from another martial arts university. He came to Magic City to challenge students from other universities. Do you think everyone is so easy to talk to that he can challenge anyone he wants? Now, if a random person wants to challenge you, would you accept? Wang Jinyang didn't come to MCMU first when he came to Magic City. Instead, he went to Donghua Martial Arts University. He's an outsider. He wanted to challenge a rank 1 martial artist to make a name for himself. Who would give him this chance? Guess. How did he succeed in the end? I don't know. Fong Ping shook his head. He did not think about it in detail before. Now that he thought about it, it made sense. Wang Jinyang was an outsider. With the pride of MCMU students, it was difficult for anyone to accept his challenge. If that was the case, then how did Wang Jinyang make a name for himself in rank 1? That guy is a ruthless person. He wrote a life and death agreement at Donghua Martial Arts University's school gate. A very big one. It's an exaggeration to say that Donghua Martial Arts University's big name is unbeatable. He guarded Donghua Martial Arts University's school gate for 3 days and signed the life and death agreement, stating that if he fought someone of the same level, life and death would not matter. In the end, someone could not help but make a move. Wang Jinyang was extremely ruthless. The first martial artist to make a move had his limbs broken. He would not be able to get out of bed for half a year. This time, it's like poking a hornet's nest. Fong Ping understood now. He was ruthless, forcing Donghua Martial Arts University to fight. Everyone had the thought of being united against a common enemy. Now, if an outsider blocked MCMU's school gate and broke the limbs of Fong Ping's classmate, could Fong Ping sit still when they were all rank 1? Maybe he could, but it did not mean that others could, especially when Wang Jinyang signed the life and death agreement. Although this thing did not have any legal effect in the conventional sense, martial artists had their own circle. Since he had written it, it had an effect. If he was really beaten to death by Donghua Martial Arts University, no one could say anything. Nanjiang Martial Arts University would not have an excuse to find fault. And then it got out of hand. Every time he went to a school, he was ruthless, showing no mercy. In the end, all the major martial arts schools were angered. East Sino Nation Normal University even sent out rank 2 martial artists. Wang Jinyang agreed to it himself. He did not hold back at East Sino Nation Normal University and chopped off a martial artist's left hand. This was a life and death feud. The other party wanted a rank 2 student to fight. If he did not accept it, then this feud would not end, and East Sino Nation Normal University would not let it go. If he accepted it, then the school would not interfere. Therefore, he had no choice but to accept it. In the end, he actually won. I have to say, it's very impressive. Qin Fengqing exclaimed in admiration. He continued, then there was MCMAU. On MCMAU's side, peak rank 1 martial artists were very strong. Although Wang Jinyang was also strong, it was almost impossible for him to hold back. Moreover, MCMU was also the last face of all the martial arts universities in Magic City. In the end, a rank 1 martial artist was defeated by him. At that time, there were many who were injured. Not everyone was as strong as me. Some were seriously injured. In the end, MCMU did the same as East Sino Nation Normal University and sent rank 2 martial artists to fight. Wang Jinyang also agreed. This was the condition for him to return to Nanjiang safely. When MCMU's rank 2 martial artists fought, no matter the result, even if they died, they would send him back. That time, Wang Jinyang was seriously injured. He was almost pierced by a sword. In the end, he returned to Nanjiang with his injuries. Qin Fengqing recounted for a while before saying softly, "Do you know what I mean by all this?" Fong Ping thought for a while and said, "You're saying that when Brother Wang fought with these students, it was not just a simple spar. Some of them were even seriously injured, which delayed their golden cultivation time. Their hatred was greater than imagined?" "That's right. Some of them were injured and had to drop out of school. Do you think that their friends, seniors were indifferent?" Fong Ping frowned. "Isn't Brother Wang too ruthless?" This was also what he did not understand. Was it just for the resources to break through rank 2? Although resources were hard to come by, Fong Ping felt that it was too much to be so ruthless just for resources. Qin Fengqing said lightly, "It's true that he was ruthless, but it wasn't without reason. Martial arts universities like MCMU monopolize too many resources. You should have seen it yourself. Our requirement for credits to exchange for pills is not high. However, if you think that all martial arts universities are like this, then you're wrong. Some martial arts universities only provide a platform for you. The resources are all up to you. All these years, these normal martial arts universities, as long as there are genius students, first have to challenge famous universities like MCMEU and Capital City Martial Arts University. In order to maintain their dignity, in order to ensure a transcendent status, famous universities are ruthless. Do you think this is child's play? There are too many things involved. Every year, the students who come to challenge are mostly rank 3 geniuses. In the end, many of them died in famous universities. Wang Jinyang came to challenge as a rank 1, which is probably the lowest rank in recent years. Maybe it's not just his own will. Nanjiang Martial Arts University and other normal martial arts universities also have their own will. He's not ruthless or evil. Do you think a normal student like him could make it this far? Martial arts universities are not as simple as you think. Although I don't know the details, Wang Jinyang might have some agreement with Nanjiang Martial Arts University or other martial arts universities before he came. In short, starting this year, although MCMAU and some famous universities' resources have not been reduced, normal martial arts universities' resources have increased. This might be caused by what happened before. Wang Jinyang may not be the mastermind, but it is a fact that he is a thorn in the side of famous universities. Naturally, the instructors will not argue with him. However, many students hate him to the core. Rumor has it that famous universities may reduce their resources in the future because famous universities waste too much resources and cultivate unsatisfactory students. I'm saying all this to tell you that you're in big trouble. It's bigger than you think. Qin Fengqing said with a smile, "I heard that you were accepted by Instructor Liu yesterday. It's a coincidence, but it's also inevitable. Haven't you noticed that the other instructors are not as enthusiastic as you think?" Although Qin Fengqing was not there, it was as if he had seen it with his own eyes. He said with a smile, "You're the only thrice-honed potential martial artist in this batch. Moreover, your combat skills and pole standing are not weak. You come from a normal background and don't have many connections. Actually, instructors love students like this the most. Take Fu Chanding, for example. He has a rank 6 grandfather. Actually, instructors don't like to cultivate students like this. Based on past practice, you'll definitely be fought over by the instructors. But did they do that yesterday?" Fong Ping thought for a while and shook his head. "No one said that yesterday." "That's right, because it's not worth it." Qin Fengqing continued smiling. "Instructor Liu likes to fool around, but she's a peak rank 6 powerhouse after all. No matter how much she fooled around, she wouldn't mess around with us students. Yesterday, she threatened and tempted us. Do you think it was purely to accept you?" Fong Ping's brow furrowed. Qin Fengqing sighed. "Someone must have hinted for you to not cause any trouble. That's why they asked Instructor Liu to accept you. After all, you're a genius. It's hard for other instructors to accept you, but Instructor Liu doesn't have this concern. Also, the mortality rate of students taught by Instructor Liu is higher. This can also appease some people's anger. This is probably the result of MCMEU's higher-ups' compromise." Fong Ping's expression was calm, but his heart was not. After a long while, Fong Ping asked, "Why are you telling me this, Senior Qin? I just don't want you to be as naive as a quail. I haven't met you many times, but I've noticed that you have a big problem. You muddle through. You don't understand the cruelty of martial artists at all. Your mentality is wrong too. You say you want to fight, but in reality, you have the attitude of a bystander. A person like you will probably die very quickly at Instructor Liu's side. Do you think university is heaven? Do you think it's a paradise?" Or do you think that the mentors are the teachers of a normal university and the seniors are the seniors of a normal school? Kid, wake up. Some things are more complicated and dangerous than you think. Do you know why this lake is called Safe Haven? In the entire university, this was the only place that could be considered a pure land. The other places were definitely not a pure land. If you're mediocre and incompetent, that's fine, but you're thrice-honed and you're involved with the student's enemy, Wang Jinyang. Do you think you can survive these 4 years without a hitch? Fong Ping could not help but think of yesterday's incident. Yesterday, after he chose Lu Fengru, Tang Feng only reminded him mildly that the mortality rate is higher. He thought it was meant for him, but now it seemed like it was meant for the other students. Fong Ping choosing Lu Fengru was not a big deal, but it was best not to choose the other students. Otherwise, with Tang Feng's peak rank 6 realm, why would he only remember this after Fong Ping made his choice? Also, Lu Fengru had gone straight to him from the start. Fong Ping thought she wanted to recruit a genius, but later, Lu Fengru's behavior was no different from a normal instructor. She did not look at Fong Ping in a different light just because he was thrice-honed. Thinking about Qin Fengqing's words, it seemed like she did not care anymore after completing the mission. At first, he thought everything was a coincidence. This was also the choice he had made. However, when he thought about it again, it seemed like this was the result from the beginning. Tang Feng expressed that he did not think highly of him. The other rank 6 instructors did not show much enthusiasm either. Only Lu Fengru, although not very reliable, was enthusiastic. Thinking of this, Fong Ping felt a little depressed. He said slightly irritably, "I'm not even a martial artist, and Brother Wang is only rank 3. Is it necessary for this group of rank 6 and 7 powerhouses to do this? This is not your problem. This is a battle between a famous school and a normal martial arts university. It's also a fight for resources. The powerhouses may not want to involve you, or rather, they don't care about you. However, Wang Jinyang is involved, and you're involved with him. Coincidentally, you came to MCMEU and performed very well. There are many factors that cause this situation. It's not that anyone is scheming against you. The way I see it, the school is protecting you. At the very least, they don't want you to be involved. Otherwise, there's no need for Instructor Lu to accept you." You're saying that me choosing Instructor Lu is a form of protection? Yes, because Instructor Lu is strong enough and has a powerful background. Under normal circumstances, no one would want to make life difficult for her over such a small matter. What if I didn't choose Instructor Lu? I don't know. The best outcome would be an accidental injury and having to drop out of school. This is not uncommon. You want to be a fierce tiger, but you have the heart of a quail. You're too naive. Think about it carefully. I've said so much to repay Wang Jinyang's favor. Fong Ping was surprised again. Favor? Qin Fengqing said lightly. Only a few of my ribs were broken, and my vitals were not hurt. This is a favor. Honestly, compared to Wang Jinyang, you're much worse. Fong Ping was a little irritated and indignant. Was he really that bad? Or perhaps the influence of his past life had not only given him more life experience, but it had also brought about some negative effects such as getting used to an easy life. A normal person from a peaceful world would think more about peace when they came to a world that was very similar to theirs. They would not be like some people who thought of bloody fights. Qin Fengqing ignored him. He yawned and said, "I've said enough nonsense. All right, let's leave it at that. Also, the Martial Arts Society wants to recruit new members. What I mean is don't go if you can. It's meaningless. If you're too weak, you'll just be a helper in the Martial Arts Society. I'm leaving." After saying that, Qin Fengqing left immediately. What happened just now was different from what Fong Ping had expected. He thought Qin Fengqing was there to recruit him, but Qin Fengqing said that he was beaten up by Wang Jinyang. He thought Qin Fengqing was there for revenge, but Qin Fengqing reminded him that martial arts universities were not as perfect as he thought. Finally, he reminded him that there was no need to go to the Martial Arts Society because he was too weak. It would be useless even if he went. This was completely different from what Fong Ping had imagined, and it made him realize a problem. He should not treat martial arts university students as normal university students anymore. They had experienced more than he could imagine. He still remembered the first time he met Qin Fengqing. He had come back from a mission with a saber that had a faint smell of blood. Was it really appropriate to treat someone like this as a normal third-year student? Martial arts universities were not schools. Or rather, they were not normal liberal arts universities. If he maintained his previous attitude, problems might arise. This time, Fong Ping was truly aware of this. MCMU had many powerhouses. There were many rank SIXS and 7s, and they could be governors in the outside world. They also controlled the production of pills, weapons, and a large number of other businesses, amassing endless wealth. Could such a complex really be treated as a school? This was not a school, at least not in the strict sense of the word. This was a colossus. Chapter 104. Faculty Dormitory, Area 1. Although it was called a dormitory, this was a real high-end villa district. The individual villas had nothing to do with the word dormitory. Villa 8. When Fong Ping knocked on the door, Lu Fengru opened it herself. In other words, Lu Fengru was the only one in the entire villa. Lu Fengru was not too surprised to see Fong Ping. She said flatly, "You're here?" "Yes, tutor. I'm here to..." "Breaking through to become a martial artist, right?" Lu Fengru interrupted him, turned around, and said, "Come in." She ignored Fong Ping as she walked into the living room, leaned on the sofa, and continued watching television. Standing at the door, Fong Ping felt a little helpless. He wanted to find a pair of slippers to change into, but realized that there was not a single pair of slippers in the entire shoe cabinet. What was Lu Fengru doing? Were they not going to entertain their guests? "Come in, you don't need to change your shoes." Lu Fengru seemed to know what he was looking at and shouted. Fong Ping had no choice but to enter the house. "His vitality has stopped growing? I've reached the limit of thrice honing. It's stuck at 209 calories. It's more or less what I expected. It's not easy to hone your vitality to 209 calories at the aspiring martial artist stage. There must be other opportunities." Of course, it did not matter. No matter how strong an aspiring martial artist was, he was still an aspiring martial artist. Any peak rank 1 martial artist was not someone you could afford to provoke. I'm referring to martial artists from martial arts universities, not casual martial artists. Don't treat them as martial artists. They're just a bunch of trash with only vitality. Lu Fengru looked down on casual martial artists. When she saw Fong Ping standing, she said casually, "Sit." Fong Ping looked around and sat down on the sofa next to her. Choosing to break through and become a martial artist is the right choice. Lu Fengru said lightly, "Let's put it this way. In the stage of aspiring martial artists, 1 bone honing is equivalent to 1 point of honing. You've honed your bones thrice, which is equivalent to 3 points of honing. This refers to the entire body. You know how difficult it is to refine the entire body by 30%. It was practically impossible for him to continue tempering it to 40%. Even if they could, it would take up a lot of time. It's different after entering rank 1. You can choose a limb and hone it to 90%. You've honed 3% now. After you enter rank 1, it'll be much easier than others. You only need to hone another 6%. Fong Ping saw that Lu Fengru was still easy to talk to. He hesitated for a moment before asking, "Isn't it a complete honing?" "What a joke." Lu Fengru said impatiently. "How can a human skeleton be so simple? Can you refine your bone marrow now?" Martial artists of the 3 lower ranks only honed the outer layer of their bones. 9 points was the limit. Only after completing the tempering of all the bones would one be able to undergo a complete rebirth. The final step would not be a forced tempering, but a natural rebirth. Of course, this is a matter for grandmasters. Fong Ping felt that he had gained something. A powerhouse's casual words could allow one to gain a lot. For aspiring martial artists, 1 bone honing was equivalent to tempering all the bones in their body. 3 times meant 3 points. If martial artists of the 3 lower ranks chose to hone their limbs individually, they would only be able to hone their limbs up to 90% at most, and that would be considered complete honing. As for the final bone marrow tempering, he would have to wait until he reached the Grandmaster realm before he would naturally be reborn. You've honed your bones thrice. In the future, your cultivation in the 3 lower ranks will increase. In reality, not everyone can bear the burden of honing their bones thrice. Don't listen to those people who say that you can cultivate a thrice-honed martial artist if you're willing to spend resources. This has to do with personal conditions. Otherwise, if it's really that simple, everyone will choose to hone their bones thrice, even if it takes a little time to save time in the later stages. Lou Fingers said with a smile, "That's why I said that you can actually be considered a genius. Don't you think that I'm not taking care of geniuses?" "No." Fong Ping shook his head. "Cultivation is your own business. Instructors are only teachers who guide cultivation. They're not parents. I don't think there's anything wrong with that." That's true, but also not true." Lou Finger leaned on the sofa casually switching the TV channel. She said lazily, "Actually, most of the time, I don't think that being a genius is a good thing. Geniuses want more, are bolder, and act like they're second to the heavens and third to the earth. Most of these people end up dying even faster. It's better to be a little more ordinary. Even if they die of old age or illness, they can still live in peace." "What about geniuses? Others are rank 1, but he's rank 3. Others are still enjoying life, but he's risking his life. Everyone is still young. They haven't enjoyed themselves, haven't indulged themselves. If they die just like that, sometimes I really feel that it's not worth it. As for me, I actually don't care about geniuses. However, I'm a peak rank 6 after all, so it's not right if I don't take in some geniuses." "Do you know why my students die so quickly?" Fong Ping shook his head. Even if he knew, he would not say it. Because they're geniuses. I'm not lying to you about some things. With me, there are more pills, more missions, and faster progress. That's why my students break through faster too. That's why these people all think that they're unparalleled geniuses and that they can do anything. They take on missions that others don't dare to take on. They take on missions that others won't take on. In the end, they die. However, I can't deny one thing. Among my students, most of them are rank 3. In the past few years, other than you and Zhao Xuemei, I've taken on 12 students. 11 of them are rank 3, and 1 is rank 4. Now the rank 4 is dead. Another 3 rank 3 are dead, and 3 are seriously injured. I told them to quit school and go back to enjoy their lives, but they're not willing. They want to continue fighting, so I don't care about them anymore. Right now, there are a total of 5 people who are still in good shape. Not counting the 2 of you, 5 of them are all rank 3. 4 of them are hanging around outside. I don't know if anyone will die next. There's still 1 girl in school. If you have any questions in the future, if I'm not around, you can ask her. She's more responsible than most instructors. I'll give you the number later. You can contact her yourself." Lu Fengru did not hide anything. She did not care to hide anything. She casually told her student's situation. Then she said, "If you want to live longer, then do as you see fit. I'm not your mother. I can remind you, but I can't dissuade you. At most, when you die, I'll help you fight for more benefits and compensation so that your family doesn't have to worry." All of them think that they're geniuses and powerful. Just a few words of flattery, and they forget everything. However, I can see that you also value your life. Yesterday, at the school allocation, it was quite interesting that you could surrender and admit defeat in the end. Lu Fengru showed a rare smile. She laughed and said, "A wise man submits to circumstances." This saying is very useful sometimes. Of course, I'm not asking you to be afraid of death. I'm asking you to see the situation clearly. When it's time to fight, just like before, fight for more credits. When it's not time to fight, is there any meaning in fighting to the death with others? Fong Ping nodded. He hesitated for a moment before saying, "Instructor, I heard that because of brother Wang Jinyang." Lu Fengru interrupted. "Who did you hear that from?" "Forget it. There's no need to care about these things. You're an aspiring martial artist. You're not even worth a fart. No one has any ideas about you. Don't be too narcissistic. This is a contest between a normal martial arts university and a famous school. It has nothing to do with you. However, Wang Jinyang is too deeply involved now. His instructor is in trouble in a hopeless situation. He wants to break through as soon as possible. Without the support of any forces or family, he can only choose to be more flamboyant and fight for Nanjiang Province and Nanjiang Martial Arts University in exchange for everything he needs. Wang Jinyang may die quickly, but he may also improve quickly. This is the path he chose. It's hard for others to copy him, but you don't have to worry. Wang Jinyang is not a brainless person. He has the support of grandmasters, so his safety is guaranteed. If he can break through to grandmaster quickly, 2 grandmasters will be a force to be reckoned with no matter where they are. Grandmasters are involved. They're too far away from you. You don't have to worry about it now. Don't you want to break through to martial artist? Have you applied for the medicinal pills? I have. Fong Ping made a mental note of these things, but did not continue. Just as Lu Fengru said, he was still too weak. He did not have the ability to participate even if he wanted to. The contest behind Old Wang was related to the competition between martial arts universities and the competition between grandmasters. It was not something he could participate in. The most important thing now was to break through to martial artist. It's good that you do. How about this? I'll go to your dormitory tomorrow. You can prepare yourself and choose to break through. Actually, you're thrice honed. The explosion of breaking through won't affect you too much. You should be safe. As your instructor, I hope that you can improve by leaps and bounds, but I don't want you to improve too quickly and get involved in all this too early. Remember the lessons of your seniors. Half of them died. In the past few years, I had deep feelings for all of you. But when I treat you like my own children, I know that I've crossed the line. I'm only your instructor. You choose your own path. I have deep feelings for you. If you die, I'll be sad. If you have deep feelings for me, you'll be sad too. It's unnecessary. Wang Jinyang is like this. Zhang Qingnan's life is uncertain. He might have died long ago, but Wang Jinyang still fantasizes about saving him. If not, he wouldn't have to do this, Lu Fengru sighed. It was not that she had no feelings, nor was she fooling around. She just did not want to place any more feelings on her students. It was too painful. Back then, she had taken in 3 students in her first batch. She had really raised them like her own children. But in the end, the 3 of them went to the catacombs without a word. 2 died, and 1 was crippled. Lu Fengru did not even have a place to cry. She could not even find a target for revenge. After that, more students died, one after another. She could not take it anymore. Taking in students now was just an errand for her. After talking to Fong Ping for a while, Lu Fengru chased him away. All right, that's it. I'm going to catch up on my sleep. Fong Ping did not know whether to laugh or cry. She was too straightforward in chasing him away. This was good, though. Lu Fengru was straightforward in her words and actions. It saved him a lot of trouble. When Fong Ping stood up to leave, Lu Fengru suddenly remembered something. She gave him a string of numbers and said, "This is your senior's number. You can contact her if you need anything, but don't disturb others. Of course, if there are martial artists of a higher rank than you looking for trouble, you can contact her. If an instructor gives you trouble, tell me directly. You can die on a mission or outside, but if you're in trouble in school, look for me. Thank you, instructor." Lu Fengru waved her hand to chase him away. She did not care if he was grateful. After Fong Ping left, Lu Fengru thought for a while. She dialed a number and said, "You guys fight among yourselves. Don't involve the normal people, especially me. Don't provoke me. If you piss me off, I'll kill your whole family." The person on the other end of the phone was stunned. After a while, he said, "You're my wife. We divorced a long time ago." "Did I?" "Duh. Then why are you using my name to scare people?" "I'm happy to. Don't worry about me. When I break through to Grandmaster, you can go wherever you want." The person on the other end of the phone was speechless. After a long while, he said tiredly, "It won't happen. The bigger picture is more important. No one wants to involve anyone. Could it be that MCMAU is fighting for so many resources for me? My daughter died a long time ago. My wife is divorced too. I'm all alone. Who am I fighting for all this for? I'm trying to gather the resources. Don't talk to me about this. It has nothing to do with me." Lu Fengru cut him off and hung up. Outside the door, Fong Ping mumbled, They're all talking about death. How do martial artists die? Cult? Mission? Or something else? Wang Jinyang's instructor might be dead. That little girl from last time, was she his instructor's daughter? Wang Jinyang's trip to Magic City in Northland might have other factors in it. It's complicated. Forget it. I'm too weak. What I should do now is to accumulate strength and wealth. With strength and wealth, I'll be qualified to participate. Whether it's helping old Wang or myself, everything is built on the foundation of strength. Without strength, safety might be safe, but is that what I want? Lu Fengru. Finally, he muttered his instructor's name. This instructor was not as crazy as he had imagined. She was a very calm and rational person. The high death rate of students was actually caused by the students improving too quickly. This was once again out of Fong Ping's expectations. Whatever. I'll break through rank 1 first and strive to enter rank 3 as soon as possible. After rank 3, I'll think about it. According to what everyone says, if you don't seek death, then it won't be easy to die. Those who die are those who seek death themselves. Isn't Qin Fengqing still alive and well? Old Wang has been courting death until now. Because he's strong enough, he's still alive and well. In conclusion, either you're strong enough or you're cautious enough. That way, your safety is guaranteed. After muttering for a while, he exhaled and strode outside. At the same time, capital city, Wang Jinyang turned and left. Behind him, a peak rank 3 martial artist from Capital City Martial Arts University coughed up blood and said, Wang Jinyang, challenge our president now, if you have the guts. Aren't you the president of NMAU's Martial Arts Society? Don't you have the guts to fight once? Wang Jinyang ignored him. When he got off the platform, someone whispered, do you want to give it a try? Wang Jinyang glanced at him and sneered. Are you the idiot or am I the idiot? After saying that, Wang Jinyang left immediately. A rank 3 against a rank 4. Was he sending himself to his death? He did not owe these people anything. They were just cooperating. You have your business, I have mine. Did they think he would do something that would cost him his life? Or did they think that he, Wang Jinyang, could not take the provocation? The person who was scolded was a little unhappy. He said with a hint of anger, Wang Jinyang, don't you forget. Before he could finish his sentence, a long saber suddenly slashed at his shoulder. Slap! His arm fell off. Everything happened so quickly that he did not know what to do. Idiot! If you talk nonsense again, it'll be your head next time. With a sneer, Wang Jinyang did not stay. He walked straight away. Ah! A scream rang out suddenly. Some of the onlookers' expressions changed. They looked at Wang Jinyang again. The martial artist who was coughing up blood on the stage also had a drastic change in expression. He did not say a word, watching quietly as the other party left. The others did not say anything either. Wang Jinyang was close to rank 4. He had the support of a grandmaster. He was not someone who could be easily bullied. Chapter 105. September 4th, Thursday. New Student Dormitory Area 1. Fong Ping did not train today. He maintained his composure and waited for Lu Fengru's arrival. 3 pills were placed on the coffee table. They were rank 1 vitality pills, bone-honing pills, and viscera-shielding pills. He had obtained these pills a long time ago, but had never used them. Other than the pills in front of him, Fong Ping also had 18 normal vitality pills and 7 rank 1 vitality pills. He was considered rich among the new students. According to everyone, Fong Ping was thrice honed and would not face much danger in breaking through. Rank 1 vitality pills might be enough. However, money was external. His life was his. Fong Ping was not willing to take risks just to save on pills. Lu Fengru did not arrive early. She only arrived at 9 a.m. When she entered, she looked around. When she saw the pills on the coffee table, she smiled faintly. You're well prepared. The new students' martial arts licenses would only be issued today. Fong Ping did not attend training today, so it was impossible for him to get one. If that was the case, Fong Ping had prepared the pills himself. Lu Fengru knew Fong Ping's family background very well. It was not easy for him to gather the 3 pills in front of her before he came to martial arts university. Many social elites had worked hard for years and still could not gather them. Without further ado, Lu Fengru said in a low voice, "What's the limit for aspiring martial artists to break through to rank 1? The expansion of the meridians. You've cultivated the methods of honing before, so you should know the effects of the methods of honing. It opens up the main meridians in the human body, allowing vitality to flow and vitality to nourish the bones and flesh. Aspiring martial artists cultivate the methods of honing and only cultivate the main meridians. The human body has 14 main meridians that run through the whole body. Of course, this is in a broad sense. The human body is the most complicated structure. Even now, it is still unclear how many meridians there are in the human body. Aspiring martial artists break through to rank 1 to open up more minor meridians, allowing the vitality to hone the bones and flesh at a deeper level. You're preparing to hone your lower limbs, right? Yes. Fong Ping nodded. He had prepared for this long ago. Since I'm preparing to hone my lower limbs first, I need to expand the meridians in my lower limbs in preparation. Lu Fengru asked, "Currently, the expansion of the meridians in my lower limbs requires 62 minor meridians. Do you know this?" Fong Ping said quickly, "I know. There are 206 bones in the human body, corresponding 206 minor meridians. Every minor meridian corresponds to each bone. This is to prepare for deeper bone honing. There are a total of 62 bones in the lower limbs. These were the contents of the basic cultivation methods." Fong Ping had been tested on them during the general studies exam, so he had some understanding of them. "Then do you know the distribution of these 62 branches?" Do. Lu Fengru did not beat around the bush. She immediately unfolded a human body perspective map and said, "Point out the locations of these 62 minor meridians one by one, as well as the sequence of expansion. Once you're clear on all of this, you can choose to break through. Use. Fong must. Fong. Remember, Wu once. Fong once. And is. Fong." Fong Ping shivered and nodded quickly. He would not joke around with his life. He could tell from the 3 pills he had prepared. He pointed out the meridians and branches in the diagram one by one, according to the order of expansion. Lu Fengru did not express her opinion. She waited for him to finish before saying, "It's all right. Take the viscera-shielding pill first, then the bone-honing pill. Finally, after clearing the minor meridians, only take the vitality pill when you feel that your vitality is insufficient. Use the vitality force of the vitality pill to continue expanding these half-closed minor meridians." The 62 minor meridians were not completely sealed. Instead, they were half-sealed. It was not too difficult to open them up. With your vitality, even if you don't take the vitality pill, the probability of you clearing all of them is very high. Also, Lu Fengru paused and suddenly said, "You're really afraid of death." Fong Ping looked embarrassed. How could she say that? Wasn't he just a little more prepared? Only a fool would choose to take the risk when there was a pill available. If there was a 100% chance of success, there was no need to gamble with a 99% chance of success. Fong Ping did not dare to retort. He obediently took the medicine and prepared to break through. Lu Fengru watched from the side without saying a word. Actually, she felt that it did not matter whether he came or not. With Fong Ping's thrice-honed strength and the 3 medicinal pills he had prepared, if he still failed to break through, then the other aspiring martial artists could all go to hell. Who would be as wasteful as Fong Ping? The market price of a rank 1 vitality pill was 300,000. The market price of a rank 1 bone-honing pill was 500,000. The market price of a rank 1 viscera-shielding pill was 600,000. These 3 items added up to 1 million, including his daily cultivation. Fong Ping, a potential rank 1 martial artist, consumed much more resources than other rank 1 martial artists. Few people would use the viscera-shielding pill to break through to rank 1 unless they came from a wealthy family. The opening of 62 minor meridians was easier than he had imagined. Although there were many minor meridians, they were not completely sealed. Fong Ping was thrice honed, and his vitality was as high as 209 calories. In fact, he had already cleared some of his minor meridians. After consuming the viscera-shielding pill and the bone-honing pill, Fong Ping had already cleared more than 10 meridians before taking the vitality pill. Fong Ping even had the time to look at his vitality consumption. At a glance, he realized that the consumption was also less than he had imagined vitality. 198 calories, 215 calories. After clearing part of his minor meridians, Fong Ping's vitality limit increased by 6 calories in an instant. The consumption was only 11 calories. Fong Ping was completely at ease now. He began to focus on clearing his minor meridians. Half an hour later, Fong Ping had already cleared more than half of his minor meridians. At this moment, his vitality changed again. Vitality: 175 calories, 225 calories. Beside him, Lu Fengru yawned. The breakthrough process was as expected. From the looks of it, Fong Ping could clear all of his meridians without the vitality pill. Another half an hour passed. At this moment, out of Fong Ping's 62 minor meridians, only the 2 in his hip bone had not been cleared. Furthermore, the amount of qi and blood consumed was unexpectedly low. Vitality: 132 calories, 234 calories. Fong Ping thought for a moment. Suddenly, he stuffed the rank 1 vitality pill beside him into his mouth. The corner of Lu Fengru's mouth twitched. In the past, her students were not afraid of death. She felt terrible. But now, she did not know how to feel when she met a student who was extremely afraid of death. She could clearly feel that Fong Ping's vitality was still very high. It was at least around 130 calories. Under such circumstances, even if Fong Ping only had a few minor meridians left, some people would still force themselves to continue, not to mention only half of them. Normal aspiring martial artists only had a vitality of 150 calories. That was why they needed the help of pills. Fong Ping, on the other hand, wanted to take pills at this time. Lu Fengru did not want to say anything else. If Fong Ping failed to break through, she would change the name of her household register to "I'm blind." Another 7 or 8 minutes passed. Fong Ping's eyes opened abruptly. He let out a long breath and said excitedly, "Instructor, I broke through." Lu Fengru's reaction was very calm. Was it a surprise? Was it a surprise? It was not a surprise at all. Ignoring Fong Ping's surprise, Lu Fengru said calmly, "While your minor meridians have just been cleared, cultivate the methods of honing first. Take a normal vitality pill to replenish your vitality and see how high your peak vitality is." Normal martial artists who had just broken through rank 1 had a vitality of around 180 calories. Fong Ping was different. He was a martial artist who had broken through thrice honing and had a vitality of 209 calories before breaking through. MCMAU's other thrice-honed martial artist, CLA, had not reached this stage. He had just broken through 200 calories and had no choice but to quickly enter rank 1. In terms of accumulation, CLA could not compare to Fong Ping. Lu Fengru was not surprised, but Fong Ping was. It had been 5 months since he started cultivating in April. To others, 5 months was a very short time, but to Fong Ping, 5 months was a very, very long time. In the beginning, he had been ignorant and envious of martial artists. Now, he had become an official martial artist. How could he not be excited? Even if his vitality did not recover, he knew how high it was. At this moment, Fong Ping's interface data had changed greatly. Wealth: 663500 vitality, 145 calories, 239 calories. Mentality: 189 hertz, 219 hertz. Because he had taken a rank 1 vitality pill, the pill's effect had not been completely depleted and was slowly recovering. Fong Ping did not use his wealth this time. The 5,000 wealth points he had used were used to maintain his peak. The expansion of 62 minor meridians had increased his vitality limit by 30 calories and his mentality limit by 10 hertz. Fong Ping still remembered when he had asked Tan Jinping how high his vitality was. Tan Jinping had told him that he had 250 calories vitality at his peak. Fong Ping had not gone through in-depth bone honing. He had not honed any of his 62 lower limbs, so his body's limit still had a lot of room to increase. At this moment, Fong Ping's vitality had already reached 239 calories. How high could he reach when he was done honing his lower limbs? Even if the honing of one bone could increase his limit by 1 calorie, his vitality would reach 300 calories, which was much higher than a normal martial artist. Thrice honing did not only increase his cultivation speed, but it also increased his limit, endurance, and explosive power. Lu Fengru wanted him to recover his vitality, but Fong Ping did not want to use his wealth points to recover, so he took a normal vitality pill and swallowed it. Fong Ping was reluctant when he swallowed the vitality pill. A normal vitality pill sold for 100,000 outside. He used his wealth points to replenish his vitality. Even though he needed close to 100,000 wealth points, 100,000 wealth points could restore him to his peak. A normal vitality pill was not only slow, but it was also difficult to restore him to his peak with just one normal vitality pill. He sneaked a peek at Lu Fengru. Fong Ping relied on the pill's effect to recover his vitality while secretly using his wealth points. There was still 35,000 wealth points left. He would think about it after he used it. Huh? Just as Fong Ping was recovering with the pill and using his wealth points, Lu Fengru seemed to notice something. His vitality is recovering so quickly. Lu Fengru was a little surprised. The effect is amazing too. Is his absorption of the pill's effect so strong? Or is it that all thrice-honed martial artists are like this? Even for her, there weren't many thrice-honed martial artists she had met. Very few. Moreover, she didn't have a close relationship with these people, so she couldn't just stand by and watch when others were cultivating. Fong Ping was her student. That was why she could watch Fong Ping cultivate without the slightest scruple. However, Lu Fengru did not expect Fong Ping to have such an effect just by consuming a normal vitality pill. She watched as Fong Ping's vitality became stronger and stronger. It's close to 200 calories. So fast. Lu Fengru thought for a while and said suddenly, "Eat another vitality pill." The corner of Fong Ping's mouth twitched. He opened his eyes and said, "Instructor, why don't I wait for my body to recover? Besides, I haven't finished digesting the pill's effect," Lu Fengru said impatiently. "I have plenty of normal vitality pills. I'll give them to you after I'm done." She had only given Fong Ping 10 pills, yet he was so stingy. Lu Fengru was both angry and amused at the same time. Fong Ping's absorption speed and efficiency of the pills had indeed surprised her. She really wanted to see if this fellow could absorb the effects of 2 pills in one go. Fong Ping had no choice but to pick up another vitality pill. At this moment, he only had 16 normal vitality pills and 7 rank 1 vitality pills left. Fong Ping's absorption speed was not that fast, of course. Worried that Lu Fengru would still want him to eat more pills, Fong Ping could only use his wealth to slowly replenish his vitality. After dawdling for half an hour, Fong Ping's vitality had recovered to its peak. Wealth, 658,000 vitality, 239 cal mentality, 200 hertz, 219 hertz. Lu Fengru looked at Fong Ping with a strange gaze. In about an hour, Fong Ping had absorbed and digested 2 normal vitality pills. Others, even at her level, could only digest slightly faster than Fong Ping. A young guy who had just entered rank 1 could absorb pills as fast as a rank for martial artist. His vitality is around 230 to 250. Lu Fengru estimated and did not say anything more about the speed. Instead, she said with satisfaction, "Not bad. It's good enough for the most average martial artist to have 180 calories when they just broke through. Twice-honed martial artists have around 200 calories. You have more than 230 calories vitality from the start. That's a huge advantage. Strong vitality, strong explosive power, strong endurance, and faster honing speed. I have to say, the advantage of being thrice-honed is fully displayed. If possible, the school should try to train some thrice-honed students." Lu Fengru shook her head halfway through. Thrice-honing consumed too many resources and took too long. It was not suitable for everyone. This could not be popularized. If it was possible, the school would have done it a long time ago. Even twice honing was not something that everyone could achieve. Moreover, if students were not allowed to break through and stay at the aspiring martial artist stage, the students would be under a lot of pressure. Martial artists and aspiring martial artists were still very different in many people's eyes. It was the same for twice-honed or even thrice-honed. You just broke through today. Familiarize yourself with the sudden increase in vitality. Tomorrow, no, this Saturday, come find me with Zhao Xuemei. You don't have to go to my house. Go to the training center for new students. I'll teach you something. You're already martial artists. I've seen you fight. Your basic leg techniques are okay, but you lack explosive moves. You're too balanced and lack lethality. I'll teach you some life-saving moves. Next, your mission is to hone your bones, meridians, and body, as well as learn cultural classes and basic martial arts knowledge. With that, Lu Fengru did not linger and left. Chapter 106. Fong Yuan. Fong Ping had just gotten through the phone when he scolded her with a straight face. You're in class today? Aren't you? Why are you bringing your phone to class? He had almost forgotten about it. He only remembered that Fong Yuan was in school when he heard the laughter on the other end of the phone. Class is over. I don't use my phone in class. Fong Yuan defended herself, feeling wronged. She then pushed away her friends who had gathered around her. My brother is talking to me. Why are you eavesdropping? Brother, you haven't called me for a few days. Has MCME reopened? Yes, school has. Fong Ping did not scold her anymore. Phones nowadays had simple functions. All they could do was make calls and send messages. After saying that, Fong Ping smiled and said, let me tell you something good. Your brother has broken through and officially become a martial artist. Really? You broke through? Fong Yuan exclaimed in surprise. The other girls around her also asked, did he really break through? You're a martial artist now? That's amazing. You just started school, and you're already a martial artist. What rank? Are you close to becoming a grandmaster? These girls did not know much about martial arts. They only knew that martial artists were powerful, but there were some things they did not understand. Fong Ping was speechless when he heard the noise on the phone. Grandmaster, my foot. That was a world of difference. He said a few words to Fong Yuan hurriedly. Fong Ping did not continue the conversation. The noise on the other end was getting louder. After ending the call with Fong Yuan, Fong Ping called his parents to tell them the good news. The results were more or less the same. There was a commotion everywhere. On Fong Mingrong's end, someone happened to pass by after work. Fong Ping heard a series of congratulations. His father did not even have time to hang up. Not long after, the phone was somehow in Tan Jinping's hands. Fong Ping was surprised when he heard Tan Jinping's voice. Were the people in the Department of Education so free? Fong Ping, congratulations. Tan Jinping was extremely polite. His tone was full of smiles. I knew you'd break through soon, but I didn't expect it to be so soon. School has just started, and you're already a rank 1. Geniuses are different. His two sons had gotten into martial arts universities too. They had just started school 2 days ago, but Tan Tao and Tan Hao's vitality was only around 130 calories. They were still a long way from breaking through. Even if he was not twice honed, he would not be able to do so without at least a semester. It would take at least half a year to nurture his vitality from 130 calories to 150 calories. If he was lucky, he would only be able to do it next semester. If he was unlucky, he might have to wait until his sophomore year. Fortunately, the two brothers' pole standing skills were not bad. If they did not know pole standing skills, it would have taken up more time. As for Fong Ping, he had broken through so quickly. He knew that Fong Ping had been preparing to twice hone and had not stopped even when he had reached 150 calories. Now that he had broken through, it meant that Fong Ping had reached this level. As for the higher ones, Tan Jinping was not sure. Even the matter of twice honing was something he heard from others. The circle of casual martial artists was much more closed off than he had imagined. These people did not know much about martial arts. Uncle Tan, this is nothing. In MCMAU, there are close to 100 martial artists among the new students who have just enrolled. My breakthrough now is just average. I've embarrassed myself in front of Uncle Tan, MCMAU, almost 100 new martial artists. Tan Jinping didn't know what to say. A famous school was a famous school. It was completely different. When his son had registered, he had gone too. He had not heard of any martial artists among the new students, at least not that he knew of. Nanjiang Martial Arts University's first place seemed to have only reached the limit of 149 calories. The difference between schools was too big. After a few more words of congratulations, Tan Jinping did not say anything else and passed the phone to Fong Mingrong. After Fong Mingrong hung up, Tan Jinping suddenly said, "Brother Fong, Fong Ping has become a martial artist now. It's not appropriate for you to be a guard. Report to the HR department tomorrow. The office is still missing someone." Fong Mingrong was stunned. The office was missing someone? The office was an abbreviation for it. It was actually the office where the leaders, secretaries, and assistants were. How could it be missing someone? Moreover, he was just a guard. If he went to the office directly, he would be an official staff member. Fong Mingrong was in a daze, but Tan Jinping didn't care about that. He said a few words of congratulations and then left. Fong Ping had become a martial artist the moment he entered university. This was a completely different concept from an aspiring martial artist. If his father were to be a guard, it would be a little humiliating, even though Fong Ping might not think that way. Even if he did not mention it, the director would have mentioned it. As for being an official staff member, it was not a big deal. He did not have any real power. Who would care about a little more salary and bonuses? In the future, when Fong Ping achieved something, he would remember this favor. No one would be unwilling to invest in something that did not cost them anything. Fong Ping naturally did not know about his father's situation. Even if he did, he would not say anything. After calling his family, Fong Ping thought for a while and called old Wang, but his phone was turned off. No one picked up. Fong Ping did not know about Wang Jinyang's current situation. He left a message and did not call again. Fong Ping did not inform Wu Zhihao and the others. They were still far from becoming martial artists. If he called them, it would mostly be to show off and destroy their confidence. It was better to keep them in the dark. After the call, Fong Ping went to the bathroom to wash up. Just as he finished showering, there was a knock on the door. Fu Chanding said as soon as he entered, "Fong Ping, you were right not to go this morning. If I had known, I would have asked for leave too." As he said that, Fu Chanding suddenly froze. He looked around and grinned. "Not bad. How dare you bring a woman home in broad daylight?" Fong Ping asked curiously, "What woman? Don't try to lie to me. If there's no woman, why would I shower? I just finished cultivating, so I'm a little dirty." "Don't be so dirty." Fong Ping was speechless. Fu Chanding laughed dryly, then widened his eyes. "You've broken through?" He did not feel anything earlier, but now he felt that something was wrong. "Yes, that's fast." Fu Chanding was not too surprised. It was easy for a thrice-honed Fong Ping to break through. He did not expect Fong Ping to choose to break through right after enrolling. He thought Fong Ping would have to wait for a while. "I've just finished honing 30 bones in my right lower limb. I haven't honed my right hip yet. If you break through now, it looks like you'll catch up to me in no time." Fu Chanding sighed. He tossed a martial arts license to Fong Ping and said, "This was issued this morning. It was a fake rank 1 before, but now it's a real rank 1. Fong Ping picked up the martial arts license and looked at it. It was similar to the temporary martial arts license from last time. The only difference was the words "School of Weaponry." "About 230 calories. What's your vitality now?" "Around 230 calories. Fu Chanding couldn't help but curse. When he broke through, his vitality was around 200 calories. Now, there was only one bone left in his right lower limb that had not been honed. His vitality was about the same as Fong Ping's. When he was done honing his lower limb, his vitality should be around 280 calories. As for Fong Ping, according to his estimation, it would be at least 300 calories. Many things were different when there was such a huge difference in vitality among the same rank. Fong Ping's explosiveness, lethality, and endurance would be stronger than theirs. Even his bone honing speed would be faster than theirs. I wanted to thrice hone too, but I couldn't increase my vitality anymore when it reached 189 calories. I had no choice but to break through. I should have tried it again. What a pity. Fu Changding was not too disgruntled. He smiled and said, "Let's go. It's your treat. Let's go to the second floor today. We'll have a good meal." Fong Ping could not help but laugh. He did not refuse. He changed his clothes and left. Second cafeteria. Fong Ping and Fu Changding went straight to the second floor. When they got there, Fong Ping realized that it was not that there was no one there. In fact, there were quite a lot of people. Fong Ping looked around and found a seat in a corner. Fong Ping's liver ached when he was ordering fresh Ganoderma and abalone sauce, 1888 yuan stewed sea cucumber, 2888 yuan stewed ginseng blackbone chicken, 39.99 yuan fried steak, 19.99 yuan. Is this a robbery? Fong Ping could not help but curse. How could it be so expensive? Did their chickens, ducks, cows, and sheep all practice martial arts? Fu Changding was not surprised. He chuckled and said, "It's all right. It's not too expensive. Actually, in the exclusive cafeteria of martial arts universities, these dishes are all seasoned. The ingredients for vitality pills are used in the soup. You know how expensive vitality pills are? Although a meal can't compare to vitality pills, it's more delicious. It's easier to digest, and it's much cheaper. Martial artists spend money like water. Do people like you spend millions for your living expenses?" Fong Ping asked curiously. Fu Changding smiled bitterly. "How is that possible? Do you really think money isn't money? We don't eat these meals often. Usually we just take some blood-replenishing pills or chi-replenishing pills and eat normal meals. We won't spend money recklessly unless our vitality is depleted and can't be recovered. Can you really eat to your heart's content?" Even Fu Changding would not maintain his vitality at its peak all the time. It was fine as long as he did not overconsume it. His usual cultivation would stop after he had reached a certain point. They were considered lucky. Some casual martial artists would only cultivate once when their vitality was on the verge of slipping if they did not cultivate. That was why many casual martial artists stayed at rank 1 all the time. They could not afford the expenditure. As the two of them chatted, someone walked over suddenly. He glanced at Fong Ping and chuckled. "Fong Ping?" Fong Ping looked up. He did not know the person, but he still nodded. "You know Wang Jinyang?" Fong Ping sighed and went straight to the point. "First, I know Wang Jinyang, but you can look for him if you want to seek revenge. He has too many enemies, and I can't handle them all. Second, my instructor is Unconquerable Wu. He's protected by a grandmaster. Think carefully before you look for trouble. Third, you're rank 2, and I'm rank 1. If you use your rank to cause trouble for me, the school will not allow it. Fourth, I've just broken through rank 1, and I'm still a freshman. I don't know much about the school's rules. If a rank 1 martial artist really wants to cause trouble for me, I'll accept it, but it'll take some time. I don't think you're in such a hurry, are you? Fifth, I'm eating now. Also, this is the dormitory area. Violence is strictly prohibited. There's no use in just talking. We're all martial artists, so there's no need to lower your status." The person standing next to him was stunned for a moment. Then, he smiled and nodded. "That's right. That makes sense. You're bright enough. No wonder you're the rookie king of this batch. In that case, you're willing to accept part of Wang Jinyang's debt?" Fong Ping smiled. "Whatever you say. If I don't accept it, you won't look for trouble?" The young man laughed. "It's not really looking for trouble. It's actually the school's tradition for older students to show off their power to the new students. This batch, you're the most famous, Fong Ping. Even if Wang Jinyang's incident did not happen, we'd still look for you. After all, the new students are too outstanding, which makes us older students look useless. How about this? You've just broken through, so we won't take advantage of you. We'll give you a month. After a month, a rank 1 martial artist will come to challenge you. That's no problem, right?" Fong Ping said calmly, "The kind that doesn't matter if it's life or death." "Not really." The young man laughed again. "They're all MCMAU students, so they won't be so ruthless. Also, we won't offend Instructor Liu. It's just a normal duel. Of course, fists and kicks have no eyes, so some injuries are inevitable. Fu Changding frowned slightly. Fong Ping has just broken through. The older students you're talking about should be peak rank 1, right? A thrice-honed rank 1 shouldn't be too different from a normal peak rank 1, right? The rookie king should have the face of a rookie king. What do you think, Fong Ping? Fong Ping sneered. I don't think much of it. Of course, it doesn't matter. Do as you please. You don't dare to seek revenge on Wang Jinyang, so you're looking for trouble with me. Isn't that because you think I'm easier to bully? Kind people will be bullied. I've understood this since I was young. After I beat you guys into submission, it should be fine, right? I'm not Wang Jinyang. I'm also an MCMAU student. If a rank 2 dares to bully a rank 1 like me, you'll have to bear the consequences. If you think it's okay, a rank 2 can come too. The young man laughed. No need to provoke us. No rank 2 martial artists will come. No one can bear the responsibility unless you challenge them yourself. After saying that, the young man added, one more thing. As an MCMEU student, there's no need to be too close to Wang Jinyang. You should understand what I mean. I don't think there's an idiot in MCMAU who can become the rookie king. Fong Ping smiled. You don't have to worry about that, senior. I'm going to eat now. Senior, all right, you guys continue. I won't disturb you anymore. The young man was also very gentlemanly. He smiled, turned around, and left. After he left, Fu Changding frowned. Why did you accept it? If you ignore them, they won't dare to do anything to you. Fong Ping was an MCMU new student with a strong instructor. Even if he ignored them, they would not dare to cause trouble for Fong Ping for no reason. However, now that Fong Ping had accepted it, even Lu Fengru could not say anything. Moreover, they were all rank 1, so it was in line with the school's rules. Fong Ping shook his head. After thinking for a while, he said, I want to experience it. Fu Changding looked puzzled. I want to experience what a real martial artist is like. I want to experience what a bloody competition is like. I want to know if martial arts university students are really different. Fu Changding said impatiently, you don't have to do this. Peak rank 1 MCMU students are stronger than you think. What do you think about surrendering if you can't beat them? Fu Changding was a little stunned. This guy had not even started, and he was already thinking of surrendering? Fong Ping said with a smile, I'm just joking. Actually, this is good. Everyone is reasonable. If I establish my dominance this time and beat these rank 1 students into submission, there shouldn't be any trouble later. Actually, if they don't come looking for me, I'm going to find someone else to establish my dominance. Otherwise, people will pick on me every day. It'll be so annoying. I'm just afraid that you won't be able to establish your dominance. Instead, you'll become the target of others' dominance. Fu Changding mumbled. No matter how good Fong Ping's performance was, he had just entered rank 1. He had no advantage against peak rank 1 students. After thinking for a while, Fu Changding suddenly said in a low voice, when the new students and the old students spar, the new students can make requests as long as it's not too much. You can ask the old students not to use weapons. Even if they get hurt, it won't be too serious. Fong Ping thought for a while and said, that makes sense. When the time comes, I'll bring an alloy broadsword. If I get hurt, I'll die. Don't blame me for being ruthless. They're the ones picking on me. Fu Changding laughed dryly. This guy had really agreed. He thought Fong Ping would reject him. Fong Ping, however, was serious. Although rank 1 martial artists had honed their bones, their vitality was not high, and their explosive power was limited. With Fong Ping's thrice-honed foundation, even if he was hit by punches and kicks, unless his head was injured, he would not be in trouble. Alloy weapons, however, were different. Knives and swords were merciless. If he was hit, it was normal to break an arm or a leg. As long as it was not the honed bones, any other part of the body would still bleed and die if it was hit. Fong Ping had already predicted what would happen today. Ever since Lu Fengru told him about his relationship with Old Wang and Qin Fengqing's warning, he knew that this day would come sooner or later. I wonder if Old Wang can compensate me with some pills. This is his enemy, after all. Fong Ping mumbled and continued eating. This meal had cost him at least 10,000. If he did not finish it, his heart would ache to death. Seeing that Fong Ping was enjoying his meal, Fu Changding did not bring it up again. Chapter 107. 2 days later. The new student training hall. Zhao Xuemei looked at Fong Ping curiously. She could not help but ask, "Hey, are you really going to challenge the seniors?" "I'm being challenged." Fong Ping smiled as he moved his body. "You know about it too?" "Of course. It's all over the place. They're saying that you're so arrogant that it's not enough to challenge the new students. Now you want to challenge the seniors too." Fong Ping smiled bitterly. "They're making enemies for me. I've just broken through rank 1. Where did I get the confidence to challenge the seniors?" Zhao Xuemei asked curiously. "Then why are they saying that?" "Some of the seniors want to cause trouble for me. I've caused trouble for most of the new students before. It's normal for them to add fuel to the fire." Zhao Xuemei was not stupid. She frowned. "So you're saying that you're not the one who initiated the challenge? They're the ones who want to challenge you?" "Yes. You've just broken through. Although you're slightly stronger than us, many of the seniors are peak rank 1. Are you sure you can beat them?" "We'll see." As the two of them chatted, Lu Fengru walked in her training attire. Lu Fengru glanced at Fong Ping as she entered the room. Only then did she say, "I know what happened. You accepted the challenge yourself. No one will stop you. I thought you were someone who cherished your life, but it seems like you're no different." Fong Ping said in a low voice, "We're both rank 1. I want to try. It's better than being picked on." "Maybe." Lu Fengru did not say much. She changed the topic. "I asked you to come today because you're official martial artists." Zhao Xuemei honed her lower limbs too. She honed 31 bones. "Fong Ping, you've been doing well these past 2 days. You should have finished honing your first bone." The biggest difference between official martial artists and aspiring martial artists is that on the battlefield, official martial artists can be the main force. You'll also have a part in charging and breaking through enemy lines. Battlefield. Zhao Xuemei looked confused. Lu Fengru did not explain. She continued, "That's why martial artists have to learn how to kill and protect themselves. Life-saving moves are nothing more than escape and defense. Based on your rank 1 strength, if you encounter trouble, it'll be very difficult to escape. Your defense will also pale in comparison. That's why I want to teach you how to kill. Basic fist techniques, basic leg techniques. These are the most basic killing techniques. The key is that they are easy to learn and master." The basic battle tactics were simple, but they were too particular about balance and had limited explosive power. "Today, I'll teach you a set of leg techniques with greater lethality." As soon as she finished speaking, Lu Fengru suddenly let out a soft cry and kicked a solid wooden dummy next to her. "Pooh!" There was a soft poochie sound, but there wasn't much movement. Fong Ping and Zhao Xuemei hurriedly turned to look at the wooden dummy. At that moment, Lu Fengru had already retracted her leg. On the solid wooden stake, there was a hole that went straight through. Lu Fengru's kick did not break the wooden stake, but it did not shatter either. She only kicked through the solid wooden stake. Fong Ping tried imagining it. If he kicked someone, would he not be able to pierce through that person's body? Lu Fengru was not proud of the damage she had caused. She said in a low voice, "This is called puncture kick. It's one of the leg techniques. The name might sound cheesy, but its lethality is much greater than the basic leg technique. Condense your power into a single point. For martial artists, we hone a part of the bones first. This part of the bones is the toughest. At this time, we condense our vitality into a single point and explode it. Combined with the honed bones, the lethality will not be lower than that of a firearm. You should know what puncture kick means just by hearing its name. The key is to poke. Poke the opponent to death with 1 kick. That's the goal. Poke the opponent's vitals. The main targets are the temples, throat, heart, and genitals." Zhao Xuemei was slightly frightened. She whispered, "Instructor, if I really poke the vitals, won't they die?" Lu Fengru glanced at her and snorted coldly. "Nonsense. Combat techniques are fighting techniques that kill people. Since it was created, it's been prepared for this. Listen to me first. I'll teach you the techniques of gathering, condensing, and exploding power. I'll also teach you the basic moves and the connecting moves. Once you've learned them, you can cultivate them daily. As for Fong Ping, you can pair it with a pair of hard leather shoes, the pointy ones. When Fong Ping heard this, he was stunned. He knew that Lu Fengru was talking about the upcoming challenge. Let him wear a pair of hard leather shoes with pointy toes? If the puncture kick really had the power that Lu Fengru had demonstrated just now, it would be too easy to poke a person through with one kick. Lu Fengru saw that he was in a daze and suddenly snorted. Childish. Don't treat any challenge as a friendly match. Once you're in the arena, it's a duel to the death. It doesn't matter if the opponent is your classmate, your friend, or your benefactor. Even if one day you're in the arena with Wang Jinyang, remember, you have to think about defeating him, or even killing him. You can choose to hold back as long as it doesn't affect you. However, you can't think about holding back before you enter the arena. If you do, you'll be the one to die. It's the same this time. Although you're all students and it's just a friendly match, Lu Fengru paused. After a while, she said, "But won't people die during a friendly match?" In martial arts universities, there are students who die during friendly matches every year. Sometimes it's an accident when they don't hold back. Sometimes it's not an accident. As for whether it's an accident or not, only the person who did it knows. That was the way of martial arts. Accidents were everywhere. If you said it was an accident, then it was an accident. Since you've accepted the challenge, then you should be prepared for it. Regardless of whether or not you have the intention to kill, I'm sure that there's someone who won't treat this as a simple spar. Also, don't expect me to step in. I'm a teacher, and the sparring between students is voluntary. The tutors belong to the school, not anyone. If something really happened to you, would I be able to kill these students? They're also my students. Even if I am biased towards you, I can't make them pay with their lives. So, what if he could do it? You're already dead. Do you care if he pays with his life for you? Fong Ping was deep in thought. He nodded and said in a low voice, "Instructor, what if I didn't hold back?" Lu Fengru said coldly, "If he's dead, he's dead. Besides, they were the ones who challenged you." Fong Ping said nothing more. Zhao Shumei bit her lip and said softly, "Instructor, they're all students, student." Lu Fengru was slightly displeased. She scolded, "Remember, martial arts university students are not students. From the first day you entered a martial arts university, you were struggling on the line between life and death. This is the first time I'm reminding you, and it will also be the last time. Fong Ping, this challenge can be your trial mission. If you come out unscathed, then everything will be fine. The school and I will open up some simple missions for you, and you can choose to accept them. As for Zhao Shumei, we'll see." Lu Fengru stopped talking nonsense and began to teach the two of them moves and techniques seriously. When Fong Ping learned leg techniques in the past, he could only accumulate things he did not understand and ask Wang Jinyang when he was on the phone. This was the first time he was being taught on the spot. Although Lu Fengru seemed a little unreasonable, she was more patient than he imagined. She repeated everything tirelessly. Fong Ping and Zhao Shumei had questions, and Lu Fengru explained them seriously. As a rank 6 master martial artist, even if Lu Fengru did not specialize in leg techniques, her research in this area was much better than the average middle-rank martial artist. More than an hour later, Lu Fengru glanced at Fong Ping and said with a slightly strange expression, "Your comprehension is not bad. Compared to Fong Ping, Zhao Shumei was much clumsier. Actually, Zhao Shumei was not stupid. If she was, she would not have cultivated to this level. However, Fong Ping's comprehension was really strong. Sometimes Lu Fengru would explain it once and Fong Ping could understand it, but Zhao Shumei might need to repeat it 3 to 5 times. Comprehension and mentality were closely related. A strong mentality made it easier for Fong Ping to accept, understand, and digest. His mentality was more than 200 hertz, and he could even capture some subtle movements, including the movement of muscles. After teaching for more than an hour, Lu Fengru was also a little tired. She said to Fong Ping, "Demonstrate it now. If there are any mistakes, I'll correct you." Okay. Fong Ping was also eager to try. The puncture kick was closely related to leg techniques. The key was that it was more condensed, and the whole body's vitality exploded in the foot. Thinking about what Lu Fengru had taught him, Fong Ping roared. He stood with his left leg and stretched his right leg straight. His right foot formed a sharp cone and kicked toward the wooden dummy. "Idiot!" Lu Fengru could not help but curse. She was a rank 6 martial artist. Of course, kicking a solid wooden dummy was not difficult. However, Fong Ping was only a rank 1. He had not even finished honing the bones in his right leg. This was an authentic wooden dummy, and it was a dummy made from one of the harder types of wood. She only wanted Fong Ping to practice, not kick the dummy. Bang! The sound was slightly different from Lu Fengru's kick. Fong Ping's puncture kick made a loud sound. The fixed dummy shook, and Fong Ping's face turned pale. He hurriedly squatted down and held his foot, inhaling cold air. Lu Fengru did not care about him. She said to the dumbfounded Zhao Xuemei, "Martial artists not only need strength, but also wisdom. Without wisdom, no matter how strong they are, they're just a brute. Just look at Fong Ping. He's thrice honed, so his bones are stronger. Otherwise, the full force of his kick just now would have broken the bones in his foot. This is the price of stupidity." Fong Ping, who was used as a negative example, wanted to cry. He held his foot, inhaled, and said, "Instructor, I just didn't expect the dummy to be so hard." "Don't explain. The enemy won't give you time to explain. If you were facing an enemy just now, they could have killed you countless times while you were in pain." As she said that, Lu Fengru continued, "You can hone your foot bones first. The foot bones have the most bones in the lower limbs, including the phalanges, tarsus, and metatarsals. There are 5 metatarsals on each side, 7 tarsus, 14 phalanges, and 26 bones in one foot. You're used to using your right foot, so you can hone these 26 bones first. When the honing is complete, your bones will be like iron, your meridians will be strong, and your skin will be tougher. When that time comes, it shouldn't be difficult for you to pierce through the dummy with one kick. Also, when your pole standing reaches the firm stance, you have to learn how to combine it. A firm stance is not considered weak even in MCMAU. Don't just stand there like an idiot. Use pole standing to move in battle. You can use it like footwork. As a basic martial arts compulsory course, pole standing has many uses. You haven't developed it enough yet. Pole standing, also known as the tumbler, isn't that simple. It doesn't make you take it head on, but it makes you dodge, and deflect. Even if you're hit, you can deflect 90% of the force, and the damage will be limited. Lu Fengru continued to guide Fong Ping, pointing out some of the mistakes he made when he exerted force earlier. The morning passed just like that. Fong Ping and Zhao Shumei were both immersed in her guidance. They only came back to their senses when Lu Fengru said that it was over for the day and would continue the next day. As my students, there are some obvious benefits. You can practice diligently and don't worry about vitality consumption. When you've finished eating normal vitality pills, you can ask me for more, but you have to make progress. If there's no progress, even normal vitality pills won't be easy to obtain. I'll go through the assessment every day. If there's progress, you don't have to worry about replenishing your vitality. After saying that, Lu Fengru left in a carefree manner. She had no intention of having lunch with them. Zhao Shumei waited for her to leave before saying dejectedly, "Am I too stupid?" Fong Ping could use it flexibly now. Although it was a little silly to kick the dummy wooden dummy, it still had some lethality. At least there was a deep dent in the dummy. She had only just learned the techniques of gathering and condensing force. She was still a distance away from actual combat. Fong Ping comforted her. "You're not stupid. There's no need to compare people. Some people are born smarter." Zhao Shumei glared at him fiercely and snorted. "Wait and see. I'll master it soon." "Hey," seeing how fast she was running, Fong Ping shook his head and sighed. "I'm sincerely comforting you. You don't appreciate it, woman." As he said that, Fong Ping went forward and touched the dummy. He murmured, "The lethality is indeed much greater than the basic leg techniques. If the force is gathered at one point and hit a vital spot, the probability of death is very high. The temples, throat, heart, and genitals are all parts that are difficult for rank 1 martial artists to hone. If I really change to a pair of pointy leather shoes, one kick will cripple me even if I don't die." The problem was, did he have to be so ruthless? Fong Ping hesitated for a moment, but he quickly made up his mind. He would prepare first. Better safe than sorry. Who knew if those people had other intentions toward him? They might even want to kill him. That was not impossible. At the same time, MCMU Martial Arts Society. Qin Fengqing leaned sloppily on the chair and yawned. Boring. A bunch of losers. They don't even think about getting revenge on Wang Jinyang. Instead, they're thinking about a new student. How boring. Zhang Yu frowned. He did not respond to him. He said, "I'm going in a closed-door cultivation. Zhou Yin will be in charge of the Martial Arts Society." The Martial Arts Society is in charge of the students' sparring. "Zhou Yin, you have to be more careful this time. Don't let Fong Ping die in the arena. If he dies, we'll be in trouble too. As for Qin Fengqing, just don't cause trouble." After saying that, Zhang Yu did not say anything else. Qin Fengqing said lazily, "If Fong Ping kills someone else, it'll be just as troublesome. We're all free." Him? Zhang Yu pondered for a moment. He shook his head and said nothing. Fong Ping had just broken through rank 1. A few of those who challenged Fong Ping were the ones who had been defeated by Wang Jinyang. These people had been peak rank 1 half a year ago. Although they had not broken through to rank 2, their abilities had improved. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.